Yeah. And if not,
We
you know.
Yo.
What's up, everyone? What is going on? Welcome back to the Age of Men podcast. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Always a pleasure to have you guys back. Nick, how's it going, buddy?
All as well as always, my friend. Great to be out here with you. Great to be having two incredible guests lined up tonight. The first is my often co-host in crime. We do a little thing that I think we're tentatively titling Propaganda Culture. Her name is Propaganda Fluent. That's her specialty. And her real name is Layla.
And we
Without further ado, my good friend.
Also too, I'm gonna say we also got our second guest on too as well. We got Layla and we also got Zeus, and so we're gonna bring those two on. We'll bring Layla on and bring Zeus on. But we again, thank you guys for tuning in. Welcome back. I know a week always seems like a very long time, but we are back, and we hope you guys always enjoy the video. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys follow us on all the social media platforms. All the links are down below. We appreciate you guys. God bless you all. But tonight, I want to tell you guys, we got a very special guest for you guys. This is somebody that I've been following for quite some time. Content is always good. I love the fact that she presents her content in a way that really makes you think on how the media, the social medias are trying to control the minds of the people and make you think a certain way based on their propaganda. So she brings her own type of propaganda, and I love the fact that she is doing that. She's growing followers on Instagram, almost at 18,000 followers. So without further ado, we are going to bring on, as we always say to most of our guests, we always say the woman, the myth, the legend. We're going to bring on Lila, aka Propaganda Fluent.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Better now.
Lila, how you doing?
I was like, what's happening?
Yeah. What's up,
really excited to be on your platform, your show. It's come a long way.
We appreciate you being on. Matter of fact, this is this is episode 7. So yeah, it's we're putting the work in for sure.
Yeah,
so
Layla, it's good having you out here, hon. What I love about your take on, maybe you can explain Propaganda Fluent, the name, how that came to be. And I love that you not only hit them with your own medicine propaganda, you explain to people what it is and how significant it is. And most people don't even know. They don't have a clue.
Yeah. So I started a channel like a little bit over a year ago, just because I felt like we're always getting and reacting to like the left and all their like mind games and shenanigans and all the stuff they're doing. But there's nobody on the right like really effectively like pushing forward and saying, this is the narrative, this is the agenda. I mean, look at the Grammys and the Super Bowl, and everybody's like, oh, it's all satanic and all this. But it's like we're promoting a lot of what they're doing without even noticing. Like it's like we're following them. And I think that conservatives or people just like want freedom and dignity and like not to eat bugs all day.
Is that too much to ask?
Yeah. We need to be able to push that out and like within our sphere of influence, like influence people into thinking that's a good thing also. And you have to do that with persuasive communication, with like propaganda, because if you don't use those tools, you're not going to make any headway. And unfortunately, people aren't taught that. So I just thought I would volunteer to start the discussion, see where it went. Because this whole acting and getting upset and being like, oh my God, that's bad, you just shouldn't do it. And you ask them, why shouldn't you do it? And it's like, because it's bad. It's like, that's not winning anybody over.
We're going to lose that way. Layla, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's a big reason why you and I hit it off so hard at the beginning, because we're both like, we need to adopt their strategy. They have the winning strategy. Like you might hate on them.
They don't have the winning strategy. They just understand human psychology, and they're not afraid to study it. Because it's agnostic. It's not for like one or the other. You can teach people, you can influence people to do good, or you can influence people to do bad. It's the same mechanism, it's the same, like, trigger words, it's the same thing. It's just understanding how the brain works and how to make things appealing. So.
And what is propaganda exactly, if you could sum it up?
So propaganda, it's definitely bad connotation, but basically it's a strategic, it's persuasive, it's a form of persuasive communication where it is strategic and it's done through multiple organizations. It's a unified effort. So whereas you could do like a single marketing campaign, or you could do something where you're trying to convince someone to do something, one-on-one individually, propaganda just has a unique structure to it in terms of the scale and size of it, and that's what usually differentiates it.
And would you say that, for instance, something like the Super Bowl halftime show could be considered propaganda?
Yeah, that's part of, and propaganda fits inside a much larger thing, which is called social engineering. And that's something that's not even entered the vocabulary right now. We don't discuss that. We're
Because
not
we've been socially engineered that we don't even know about social engineering.
Yes, that's not an active thing that we're engaging in, unfortunately. Whereas they're doing that plus way more.
So social engineering is going to be happening all the time, right? It sounds like I would agree. Makes sense. Is let's do it towards the things that we think are right in this world. Engineer things properly because they're doing it towards their own arguably wicked ends.
Yeah, that's the only way to counteract it. Pointing out negative behaviors honestly isn't going to change anything. Telling someone, oh, if you drink this much, you're going to get sick and die, that's not going to stop them from doing it. I know it sounds weird and counterintuitive, but that's just how our brains work. You have to promote and tell people what to do, not just don't do this. And unfortunately, conservatives are always like, oh, don't do that, and like as if that's going to make some impact on people.
It actually makes people double down and go to the other side. It works against you.
Yeah, a lot of times.
Yeah. What's up, Julius? Did we lose you?
Yeah. It's all good.
Chicky just hit him up. Just hit him up. You can tell. You can see his smile.
No. Yeah. To be clear, Lila, I was actually sick like a few days ago, and then, I was feeling better, but then my throat just got so bad, and I was like, "What is
allergies?"
Okay. Say no more. Say no more. So, did you have any questions for Layla? Because I could go all day, Julius.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know you kind of talked about what conservatives do. So, what do you think the change should be moving forward? Like, how can the right, or just anybody that wants to be free, be a influence on people to make them, not make them, but to help them understand that the world can be better? Like, how do we bring people together rather than always talking about how it's divided?
Yeah, I mean, it's just about learning how to be effective storytellers and leaders. We have to give them a reason. Like, we have to understand, number one, the right, and this is something that the right lacks tremendously, that the left has an abundant advantage on, is that the right does not feel it's very important to empathize or relate with their, people who are different to them. They feel they have, where the left has a superiority complex, but they also understand the importance of gathering data and being able to understand what it is your opponent wants and needs, or what it is the person you're targeting wants and needs, whereas the right just wants to push out, like evangelically, evangelize, okay, this is what you need to do. I don't care what you do. You need to do this. This is the right thing. Mm-hmm. And when you take that approach, you don't really see the full person. You don't have enough data points to accurately message to them and target them and get them to respond at an emotional as well as like a logical level. So we need to be able to do that. We need to be able to say, okay, I get that you think communism is great. Let me explain to you and message to you and identify your pain points, and then message why freedom is actually better and why capitalism is better. And it's that simple. It's just being able to tell a better story. And the right is too arrogant to do that and just lacks the skill. They're not into the soft sciences. They're not in these institutions learning about psychology and learning. I mean, they know how to do it. They know how to do it because this is the tactic they've had to use, and it's
Mm.
very subversive, but it works, and it works really well. And like, for example, people always talk about, I know love Nick loves to say repeal the 19th, but you know,
Until
because
the
the left
19th.
does, yeah, the left does heavily unify.
Oh, she dead. She dead from trying to repeal the 19th.
Oh, what happened?
They just repealed the 19th on Layla.
Right. What the heck?
Is she in the back? Is she in the maybe her
No,
phone died or
no,
something?
she's not even behind the curtains, if you will. She's
Do me a
completely.
favor, man. Try to DM her on Instagram.
She,
I'll hold it
she's
down.
back.
We'll
She's
keep it
back.
going.
She's
So
back.
No, my mic just
she's
jumped
back.
out.
Oh,
So
okay.
They
what
just
I was
repealed the 19th
saying,
on you, Layla. They just repealed
I
the 19th on
know
you.
I repealed an ID on me. No, so yeah, so you always like to advocate that because, you know, the left uses women. You know, the Democratic Party is like literally every single issue is a women's issue. Like, it's like, who cares? But the thing is, though, because they're using just psychology, they're using the mechanisms of mental manipulation. You take away the women's vote or women's rights or whatever, they can just rewrite their story and start targeting men. It's not that complicated.
You
They
made
know
a
how to
great point.
manipulate people they know how to manipulate people psychologically.
Yeah,
So
you
it's
said
just
like
that,
they'll get like the dude playing video games in his mom's basement. Then if the women aren't allowed to vote, they'll find their target and do it. So I hear your point with that.
Yeah, when you said that they rewrite their history to target men, that's really fantastic. That's deep because it's like that's exactly what's going on. They're changing things and making you think, no, it's really like this. So all the men are bad, and we gotta uplift the women. So this is maybe out of context, but something that I saw. So I was just watching YouTube, and I was looking at the movie The Terminator, and I was looking at all the sequels.
yeah.
The last one, the Dark Fate Part 6. So this whole time, the leader of the resistance in the future has been John Connor, the man, right? In Part
Uh-huh.
6, what happens is they kill him off. They kill him. Spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen the movie, but they
Okay.
kill him, and then there's a woman who's now the leader of the resistance. Her name is Danny, but there's no backstory. There's no reason why they want to target her.
Yeah.
What happened when Skynet sends a Terminator to kill her, the T-Red, to kill her, and then the Resistance sends their own type of Terminator to go protect her. So, but there's never no backstory on
It
why.
actually killed the plot. It killed the plot. It's like they just tried to do it. Guys, let me hit you with something hot real quick about just real quick. This is off topic, but the lady that wrote Terminator and the Matrix series, who after like many years in court was vindicated, proven that she did write this shit. She says the Terminator is a prequel to the Matrix, and John
Wow.
Connor from Terminator is actually who grows into Neo. When the Terminator series ends, and you first see Neo wake up in the Matrix, that's John Connor.
Mm.
Interesting.
Gives you a whole new context on those movies, and it's pretty cool. But Layla, you said that I absolutely hear your point on the repeal 19 thing. And by the way, I've always made the distinction: let's get rid of beta males' rights too to vote. Like I'm with that. But um, but but that in mind, I think I said something like the problem is for me, anyways, as I see it, like men have been kind of put in a position where it's like all risk no reward with marriage and shit like. I don't remember exactly how I led to it, but you ultimately determined that, or you assessed that, like a big reason why a lot of these women are so out of line and acting wild and whatnot is because of sexual repression or something.
Yeah, sexual frustration. Yeah, I'm gonna actually write a book on this because nobody else is talking about this.
Can you
Because
elaborate on that? On the sexual
female sexuality is incredibly different from men's sexuality. And thanks to feminism, because all these agendas, they're basically there to invert, like basically turn it upside down. So the men are becoming feminine, the women are becoming masculine, just because that actually takes us away from our power. Okay.
Mm.
That takes us away from our skills and our gifts. That corrupts us like deeply. So women's sexuality is very different. Most women don't know anything about their sexuality because feminism made only sexuality that exists is men and how they behave based on like biological like evolution, things like that. So just like with ADHD, women present dysfunction differently. Like when men have ADHD, they're all hyper and crazy. You know, and there's some women like that, but oftentimes it's this different, it looks different. And most people for a long time didn't know what it was and didn't recognize it in women because it presents differently. So sexual dysfunction in men has one, you know, distinct characteristics, but sexual dysfunction in women has a totally separate thing. And when you have sexual dysfunction as a woman, you're lacking a lot of the grounding aspects. Your hormones are going crazy. You're literally like a spinning top, just completely gone. And if you look at how these women act, they look like people who have severely sexual dysfunction. They're lacking intimacy. They're traumatizing themselves over and over again, looking for that intimacy, looking for that. And so they're literally ripping apart their own house. Like they're ripping themselves apart
as they rip their vaginas apart too, getting ran through.
It's that, and they're out here. That's literally sexual dysfunction. If they had grounding energy, like, because I spend a lot of time in Silicon Valley, and a lot of those dudes are like non-masculine. They're very like, and it's just, it makes you crazy. And let's not even get into like the hormones that they're on, or they're screwed up hormones, because when women's hormones are really off, you know, it's super volatile, and you're going to see like a lot of different bad things happening at once. Where men, I think, slowly die off when their hormones get messed up. They sort of just become inert and wither away. But with women, it's like a volcano that's like dying, you know, like a dying star.
Yeah, it's like a death of a star before it becomes a black hole.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, it's just, so yeah, and I'm actually going to do a piece on this where I talk about how the food pyramid, like the messed up food pyramid, how they inverted the food pyramid, where like fat and protein and all those things are at the top and very little, and the bottom is like sugar,
grains and stuff. Yeah,
grains. That pyramid is literally responsible for actually the downfall of the family.
Elaborate. Do tell.
Who knew that eating too much bread would break down the nuclear family?
What do you mean by that? What do you mean? That's fascinating.
So so fat is incredibly important. Cholesterol is incredibly important, because it goes into producing hormones and all of these things. Like your brain needs cholesterol, your brain needs fat, you need all of these things. And they demonized fat and they made it bad. And we see like an uptick in all these like degenerative diseases, all of these things that happen, you know, as a result of it. You know, cancer skyrocketed, obesity skyrocketed, all of these things. So you're taking out nutrition from the diet. You are replacing it with bad foods, poisoning people. Women, their hormones subsequently become destroyed and damaged. Their brains are literally starving. They're insane, like literally.
She said it, folks, not me, but yeah, I agree.
Damage. The nutrition is a huge part of your mental health.
Sure.
And if you are starving, your brain is not going to function properly. Your hormones aren't going to function properly. And so can you imagine, you're a woman, you don't eat properly, you don't have enough nutrition, you have kids, you've been starving for like over a decade, let's say, your body is depleted of minerals, everything, and you're just a raging psycho. Like, because
if you're a single mom on top of that, like,
and you're a single mom on top of that,
they got to be masculine now to like defend off the world. It's just a recipe for disaster.
On top of that, and you're living with a guy, you're crazy. Of course, it's going to cause problems. He's stressed out too, but this woman is like literally, her brain is rotting out of her head. So, you know, it's, how are you gonna have a happy family when the woman is like literally, like her brain, like it's precursor dementia. Your hormones, like how are you gonna do that?
Can't happen.
Gonna get a divorce.
Can't be happy.
You're gonna get a divorce. You're gonna not have the healthy sexuality, because the healthy sexuality disappeared, because where is she going to get a sexuality? She's starving.
And people are scared to death of her. They don't want to make love to it. You know what I mean? Like,
like she's not going to have the hormones working properly. She's on birth control. She doesn't have her hormones working properly. She doesn't. She's not going to want to be sexual.
Right.
So how are you going to have a healthy family with
I heard that I
That's a
heard
great point, Layla.
I found this article that I posted on Instagram that women who are on birth control, I don't know if it's birth control, maybe birth control. When they're on birth control, they are they like men, like a certain men, but then once that birth control kind of wavers, they don't find that guy attractive anymore. Is that
Oh,
true?
it absolutely messes with their attraction rates, dude. It messes with
Everything.
their cycles, all kinds of stuff. Once I realized that, and by the way, I learned, which they should teach this earlier. Women are only fertile like 7 to 10 days a month. Most women can kind of like map their, well, due to the influences Layla just named, they're not good at mapping their predictability or anything. But if you're able to do that, you just be responsible and don't have sex during that time. At least not unprotected. And you don't have to be on birth control. You don't have to go through all that, and it's wild.
On the side note, this may sound probably the dumbest thing you ever hear from me, if not one of the dumbest things.
That's saying something. No,
I've always been against birth control because it reminds me of gun control. When it's gun control, you want to control the gun. When it's birth control, you want to control the birth. So I've always been against birth control because I'm like, they're just trying to control the birth. So why would you want to be on that? I don't know. It's a weird thing to say, but whenever I hear this blank control, they're trying to control blank.
Well, I'm following, and that ties into the video that shameless self-promotion, Layla, propaganda culture, and I got into, where the doctor, like the 1960s, he's laying in, he's like, population control, I often thought just meant controlling who made kids. But there's a lot more to it than that, including subversive things like birth control, abortions, suicides, which we just, before we got on
promoting sex, but disassociating it from reproduction.
And being able to scientifically do reproduction without having to have sex, meaning trying to remove people from the equation entirely to reproduce and promote degenerate sex that doesn't. Think about our lifetime.
Homosexuality.
Well, that's there too. That's not good for procreation, obviously. But in my lifetime, dude, I remember even at a young age, before I even had a clue really what sex was or anything, they were putting this idea: safe sex means not having a child. Use a condom, whatever. Like literally throwing that at us the whole time to try to remove the obvious reason you have sex in nature, which is to procreate. And Layla, to how important it is, just real quick, on Haslow's hierarchy of needs, it's literally up there with food, water, shelter, sex. And the reason for that is because if you don't have sex, you don't procreate and you don't survive as a species. So it's that important to have a sexual a healthy sexual, whatever.
Yeah, and I was talking to a leftist, and he was literally spouting. He was like, "Sex doesn't mean babies. Sex doesn't mean reproduction. It's for pleasure." And everybody on the live we were talking, we were like, for millions of years, that's the only point was for reproduction. It's not about pleasure.
He must be a booty boy, if you know what I mean. He must be a gay dude that doesn't have to worry about it.
I mean, his pleasure is probably Pamela and Angelina Jolie. That's probably his pleasure. So. Yeah, he has 2 dates every single night.
Yeah, he's a booty boy. He's not worried about getting somebody pregnant, if you know what I mean.
He has a small little table.
His sex is pleasure.
Are across from him, like little wigs on. He has like little. He's like Pamela.
It's wild, man. When you really consider how to your point earlier, everything is inverted, everything's upside down, and to that end, could the halftime show be considered something like that?
Yeah, it's definitely a mass ritual. And that's the thing. So this is one of the things that irritates me about conservatives is like they talk a lot about these things, but they don't ever bother to actually learn what they are, because they're like literally watching spreading the word, they're talking about it. It's like, dude, you're participating in the ritual. You're helping. Like, are you dumb? Like,
okay,
they are dumb. They are dumb.
So I was talking to a friend this morning on a live. And I told her, I said, that I did not talk about the Grammys because I didn't want to participate in giving Satan the platform. And so she was saying that, we should be exposing it because there are people who don't know that this is happening. And I told
but you're exposing it to do what? To counter it how?
And also expose it without participating in it, maybe, or promoting it.
But you're not actually solving it. You're just talking about it. You're not.
Right.
So they're demonic and they're satanic. Now what?
Right. And just talking about it.
You're gonna boycott Starbucks or something?
No, of course not.
What's the plan?
And this isn't a diss towards her. It's just that I didn't want to promote the Grammys because I'm like, first of all, Like all you guys are like, look at this, look at this, look at this.
You're giving them your
argue that,
energy. They want your
right?
energy. These people are Satanists. They want your energy. They're magicians. Like
Yeah.
they
And
need
also
your
they
attention.
mock you. They want your attention, and then they mock you by literally putting it right in front of your face, their whole
Yeah.
agenda and symbolism and whatnot. And then their mentality is, if you don't do anything to stop us after we're blatantly putting it out there, then not only do we have the right to do it to you, we must do it to you, or else we're no better than you.
Right. And then
Exactly.
I would argue too that the people who disagree with the right will probably look at that and go, I'm going to support it even more now because you're putting it in their face going, they're so bad. And then conservatives are sharing a picture of Sam Smith. I'm scrolling through Instagram and Twitter, and I'm like, I don't want to look at Sam Smith laying on the ground. I'm going to look at, why are you even sharing
And
it?
it's like, that's what I'm talking about. Is this severe immaturity. It's immature. You want to talk about it, you want to play games, you want to be in the fight, then you need to understand what it is. But too many conservatives are scared because everything that's satanic, I'm not going to learn about psychology. I'm not going to learn about the occult because that's all Satanism. Like, no, boo-boo. That's literally just the way that you interact and control people's minds. And you can't control people's mind by having a conversation with them. You control by going into their subconscious, into their programming, and rewiring that. That's how you do it. But they don't want to do that because that's satanic.
Because they're betas.
In 1534, this is the witches. It's like, dude, then why don't you become better witches? Like, what is wrong?
Yeah.
I hear you. Here's the thing. I understand you want to dabble in Satanism, but guess what? The Satanists exist and they believe in it, and they're fucking running things behind the scenes, capitalizing on the fact that you'll never even look into it. They actually
you'll never learn.
Isn't it fair to say that even with the Super Bowl, right? Everybody's like, we gotta watch Rihanna. I'm like, dude, Satan's like pulling you in. He's like, that's right.
They don't understand. They have no idea. They have no concept. They don't understand. They're very immature. They don't even know the basic things. Like, for example, with the Marxism thing, there's people who explain point by point how to counter leftists, how to counter subversion, how to counter all these things that they're doing. Do they read about it? Do they learn about it? No. They just want to point the finger and say, oh, look, we're better than them. They're crazy. And it's immature. And it's a waste of time.
It's unproductive, and it's actually detrimental to your cause. You're pushing people away to the... Honestly, I feel like the left and the liberal side, the reason they gain any popularity is because the conservatives are so fucking whack. Nobody wants to associate with them, so they just go over to the other side. It's kind of cooler. They seem cooler. Even though they might be evil or whatever, they're kind of cool.
So to play
right or lame.
So to play advocate real quick, I was also talking to my friend about this. We both came to the conclusion of like being able to talk to the other side. I'll give you an example. In 2020, after the election, the very next, it was a bunch of Biden supporters, a bunch of Trump supporters. There was a Stop the Steal protest. Biden supporters were there, and Tifa was there. They was like, "Ha ha, you lost, get over it," right? And I was there actually talking to Biden supporters, like having a conversation with them. And the fact that I was able to talk to them, they actually appreciate the fact that I talked to them. And so at one point, Antifa and the Proud Boys started to fight. It was like, you never for Antifa. I was like, oh boy. And so I'm talking to a Biden supporter, and I was like, the guy goes, I don't want any violence. I was like, brother, me neither. And so he reached his hand out, and we both shook hands. His girlfriend had a mask on. She's Biden supporter. She like looked at him, looked at me, and then she grabs me and just hugs me.
Oh, really? I thought this was going the other way. Wow, amazing.
And then I was like, this is crazy. And so I told her, I said, listen, whatever you believe in, it's fine. If it helps you, it helps you. If it hurts you, you will see it. Do your own research because of it. And while everybody's like fighting, like boom, 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 we're like hugging. And I always call it the moment that nobody saw.
Wow, like the shot that was heard around the world, but opposite. Dude, that's really cool.
Heard around the world.
That's really dope, man. And Julius, just to like go back to my live point last night, because that's kind of our theme on the show. That chick wanted you to be the cuck.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
She wanted me to cuck so hard, bro.
Layla, is it? Am I onto something or no? That especially for a man, at least, if you're a straight man and you're watching straight porn, a dude bang a chick to get off, is that not too far off from cucking?
I don't know. How people watch porn.
I know, but like think about it. this is what fucked me up years ago when I realized, I was like, am I not just like a fucking cuck sitting here getting off to a dude banging a chick? Like, what is
Well,
that?
okay, let me
And so I stopped watching it.
let me go ahead and
Porn is
let
so
me,
beyond.
yeah, let me go ahead and explain to Lila like exactly like what I laid it all out as to be. So you know what cucking is, right? I would imagine you know what that is.
Tell the audience just
Yeah.
so they may not know.
Okay, so cucking is basically, for those who don't know, cucking is basically where I would argue a man who lets his wife get banged out by another dude.
Yeah.
Either he's
No argument. That's what it is.
because he's into it, or he's has a scarcity mindset because this is the best he can get, and he would do anything to stay with her, even if it means losing her for an hour. So,
Hey, which is worse? Which is worse is if the dude's doing it because the wife gets off to it, or he gets off to it.
I mean, I would think it's worse if he gets off to it because it's like
Because that's gay as fuck. That's like kind of gay too.
Yeah, and plus he's only doing it because he's trying to please his wife. Now, Layla, this is where I say that the cucking is involved.
I was like, I didn't know I was getting into this conversation, guys. Come on.
Well, you brought this up.
I know I have to. I always have to drag her in with me, take her to the deep end.
So okay. The argument last week was this. This is what I was saying. I was like, if you're watching porn and you know that somebody's filming it, right? They're filming it from their camera lens, and then you watch it from your phone like this, okay? Isn't it the same thing? Like if I was at look, if I was at Nick's house right now, holding my phone like this and watching the girl, like watching my girl give him whatever dome,
like,
right?
Yeah.
And I'm watching like this. Imagine the next person at their house watching like this. Is this not the same?
It's the same fucking thing,
It's
exactly,
the same
Julius.
thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's one of the breakthrough arguments for anti-porn.
That's what you get over here. Well, see, here's how I got around it for a little bit. I started just watching lesbian porn for a little while because I was like, that works. But now I don't watch any.
But even that sounds
porn will
normal.
fuck your brain out. Don't watch
That's
porn.
weird. To see two females go at it, it's weird. It's like
It's
I don't want to
kinda
get.
odd to me, but it's the way I wasn't a cuck. It's the way I wasn't a cuck, But I'm not promoting it now.
It's pretty. Yeah. It's kind of.
I'll take.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let's get back to the Super Bowl. Let me see.
Yes. I had to bring that up. I had to see.
Nick had to like drag us down today. He's like, all right.
I think that's my favorite topic lately. That's
You
my
wanna
favorite
talk
topic lately. That's
propaganda?
a great take. Yeah, that's propaganda, dude. Porn is propaganda to the fullest. Actually, when you think about it,
porn propaganda to make people have
social
sex and not have
yes, it's social. Well, dude, think about it.
Porn, honestly, like the red pill dudes and their like whole like, again, like they don't even understand anything about women's sexuality. They're like, oh yeah, women want all this and they just want to take dudes and this and that and everyone's cheat. It's just like, dude, what? Like they actually believe that these women like enjoy what they're doing. They're actresses. Like it's the delusion. The like, oh, strippers they like doing it. It's like, what?
Well, they might enjoy it a little bit. They think they do when they're getting the money fast and whatnot. But as they get old, it's not a career, dude. Like that money's going to dry up overnight.
Like someone got offended when I said, all these women were traumatized. They were probably all like victims. And they were like, no, that's not true. And I'm like, dude,
you want it to not be true, man. But how do you know it's not true? Of course,
it's like 90. No, it's literally 90%. No woman.
Yeah.
Goes into this industry just because they wanted to. And
it's messed up, man. That's not natural instinct of women to put themselves on camera for anybody and everybody to see forever getting banged out. That's not how most women operate.
That's just because women, they just want the alpha.
Real quick. Somebody in the chat was saying that the live froze, but the live.
No, she said it's working for me now. She's good. We're good.
Okay, yeah, it's fine. So, okay, I don't want to like dabble into this, but Lila, you said something that made me want to ask you a question. And I'm just curious. So
wait, did you say Lila, Julius? It's Layla. Just so I'm not sure.
Layla. Sorry. Maybe I said Layla.
I thought you maybe you were sick and I misheard or say you were thinking different.
Yeah, no, my fault, Layla, my fault. But I wanted to ask you, what do you think? And it's not my thing. I'm just curious. What do you think about polygamy and the red pill movement saying men want multiple women? Like, what do you think about that?
I think that if you can afford it and you want to do that, then it's between you guys, like Mormons used to do and everything. Like, but most of these dudes, to be honest, are dead broke. They're just so pathetic. And no.
Well, they want a lot of ass.
I just don't understand why their solution is like always to have more sex. It's like you don't see the
I don't hate that
culture.
part. I don't hate that part of it, but
no, but to have more, just like
I feel you. I get it.
We don't have we don't have control of resources. Oh, let's just like have more sex. We don't have like stability or
It feels
Do
like
you-
it's
what?
justifying having more sex at the expense of everything else. I hear what you're saying. It's
It's
not
Well,
like
just
a solution
basic
for most men, many men.
animalistic response because they feel insecure and their manhood is like under attack because they're like failures. So it's like,
Hot
okay,
take.
so you're just gonna dominate. It's like, what are you doing?
Hot
Like,
take.
do you think that like the British crown won over everything because they were like polygamous, trying to just like hook up randomly? Like they actually were very disciplined. They didn't hook up with a lot of people while they were doing that.
They in their own bloodline. They only hooked up with their
Literally,
family, their cousins and
literally.
stuff. You know, like
Yeah.
that's how disciplined they were.
Yeah,
Wild.
literally.
I
So
mean,
yeah.
according to news now, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are distant cousins. So
No, I know. Yeah, no. they are
yikes,
distant
that's
cousins.
super gross.
You can't. You couldn't. Well, like distant cousins, like distant, but like you're not
I
gonna
mean,
get into like a
How
family
distant?
like that if you're not in the bloodline.
Yeah,
Is she
Your
black?
dad,
I keep hearing she's black.
stuff like
Is she
that.
black?
I'm gonna start
Her
making phone
mom
calls.
is-
You guys can start hearing this.
her mom is like African American or whatever, or Canadian African, or I don't know. But her mom's clearly not 100% Ethiopian or
Okay.
whatever. And you know, most black people have like 20, 30%, like 18, 20% of white in them anyway. So
Did you say most black people have 18 to 20% white in them?
yeah,
Amazing info. I never knew that.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Like
real quick on that. I was in the live the other day, Layla, and this dude. So I told this dude that there was a black woman who did her like her DNA test for the case, and she found out that her ancestors were actually white.
She white.
And he was trying to make the argument that white people can't have black babies, but yet black people can have white babies or something like that.
I've
Like,
heard this argument before. Black people can produce any spectrum of child, but a white person can never produce it. Yeah,
know.
yeah. One of those kind of arguments. Yeah.
Is Bruce Lee's ancestors like from Africa or something like? Like what?
I think the whole race thing is a bunch of nonsense when we really get down to it. Like,
I think
I
we
can-
need to understand human history first, because there was an advanced civilization that existed before the Ice Age.
facts.
So we need to figure out who they were first before we start talking about the races and
Yeah.
like.
I don't necessarily think we're going to get to the bottom of it. I don't necessarily see the reason we need to. I connect with people of all. I grew up in like a black community, I guess you could say. And like, dude, I don't look at anybody and think or judge, have any thoughts about them based on their skin color alone. There's nothing I can tell you about somebody just based on their skin color. Not one thing.
Well, then
okay.
we do have physiological differences. Like black people usually have a higher mineral content. They have denser
sure.
bones.
And
They have a lot
you're
of
more adept to the
different-
sun. You're
Yeah, we have a lot of.
whereas white people are more adept in the
of-
cold. So there's benefit. But I'm saying like on a cultural level or societal level, it just doesn't factor into me at all. Like in any tangible way to like think about somebody's skin color. Like I don't have anything that I take from that into my real life and
Just
use.
like maybe their culture. What is their culture going to be?
Maybe
like?
that. Yeah, maybe that. But
So-
that, I don't think most people know their cultures, including me. Like as a white guy, I have no idea. My people were slaves running from wherever too.
Yeah. So speaking of color, Layla, what do you think about the Super Bowl doing the Black National Anthem, and then they do the Star Spangled Banner? Like, what are your thoughts on just the Black National Anthem as a whole?
I think it's a joke. I think it's ridiculous. I think that the whole Black Power movement is actually thinly veiled Marxism. They decided that Black people would be the best vein, the best conduit to introduce this. I mean, the symbolism is the exact same. You know, you can always tell it from the symbolism. So yeah, it's ridiculous. It's
How do you
ridiculous.
really feel? How do you really feel?
Yeah,
That's a
well-
hot take. Amazing.
I read the lyrics because I was listening to Pastor Brian. I was listening to Justin on the live. They both read the lyrics together. There's nothing wrong with the lyrics, but see, the issue I have with that is that why are Black people like? I get that there's things that happened in the past. I get it, but it almost makes it look like nobody else matters except for Black people because we got to put the Black National Anthem
Because
first.
Black people are very influential. They're very influential, like very cool, very hip, very influential, very creative. It's just when you have a picture of people and you have someone dark skinned and a bunch of lighter skin, the people immediately go to the darker skinned person, usually. So it's just things like that. It's just influence. And unfortunately, Black people are also the ones who are willing and ready to be used as pawns for this agenda. So they don't have a lot of focus and direction. They're just, the Black Power movement, they were fighting for civil rights and integration, all these things. And so they could, get in the front of the bus on the white bus line. But was anybody fighting to be able to get on the Black bus line? Because they had entire Black run bus systems, like the whole industry is everything. Nobody was fighting for that. So it's really ridiculous how they've set up the whole movement, because it's literally, they are the other side of white supremacy. Like, let's be 100% clear. Every single argument that the Black Power movement makes is directly supports the idea of white supremacy. Like, even the way they subcategorize themselves, I'm a person of color. You say you're not, your subcategory, they are the superior one. Black people can't be racist. Black people can't be, they're not responsible. If they have an opinion, it's internalized white supremacy. Like, every single argument they have, honestly, because you're not going to be able to have white supremacy if you don't have people who believe that white people are supreme. And who's the number one who does that? Black people. So
you've said that before. That is one of the hotter takes of the many hot takes that Layla brings.
It's ridiculous.
That's a hot take. You're saying that the Black people who are accusing people or the world of having white supremacy influencing it are actually the ones that subconsciously believe in the whites are supreme.
No, they don't subconsciously. They fully believe it.
Wow.
There's no subconscious about it. They literally say that white people own everything and control everything. And it's like literally this. If white people really did do all of these things and you were just like powerless to stop it, they're like such a small percentage of the population. This small percentage of the population was able to do all these things, including like, I've even seen videos where people are like, we stopped eating our traditional foods because of colonialism and this and that. They're literally going to stop you from eating your own food. This handful of people are able to do that. Tell me how that argument doesn't make it sound like they're actually really superior to you.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you said that, because I've noticed that. Like, I guess mine would be a little bit opposite, not so much, but I noticed that every time when I hear this talk about oppression, it does make me think that Black people see themselves as inferior only to say that white people are superior. So by definition, you're pretty much like, you're your own racist, and you're basically saying that.
The Proud Family, they recently did a video where they're teaching kids how to be like, BLM protesters and everything. So the Proud Family, the kids are protesting a statue. They want to remove a statue. That's the story. So the parents are on the sidelines watching this whole protest. The principal calls in a group of police. So so number one, there's a little dark-skinned girl at the head of the protest.
The fat one, right?
The fat one? There's a skinny one with a bunch of braids.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
The pretty light-skinned girl's right behind her. Then you've got the boys in the back. And then you got the parents on the side as the police come. Why does one of the fathers call out to a white man who's part of the school or whatever and say, use your white privilege to stop this? And it's like,
yeah. To stop what? I don't even understand the controversy.
To stop the problem.
What problem? I didn't even hear a problem.
So the kids are protesting. The school calls in police. The principal calls in the police to come. So it's like the police on one side and the kids on one side. The parents are on the outside looking in. Instead of the parents stepping in and defending their children, one of the dark-skinned Black dads goes to a faculty member who's white and begs him to use his white privilege to stop this.
You can't make this shit up.
Where is that acknowledging and behaving as if you believe that white people are superior to you?
That's the most beta shit I've heard in a minute.
It's really, I'm going to do a video on it. It's like insane.
Wow.
It's insane.
Well, because I remember back in the day, I didn't really watch Proud Family, but I knew what it was, and I kind of saw it here and there. It was never like that back in the day than how it is now. They perverted that show so much, and I'm just like, yeah. I mean, I would argue they always been like that. But it's got worse and worse and worse. Where now it's propaganda. Like that's all it really did. It's just trying to make people think that again that black people are. Yeah, exactly. And so they want you to think that black people are just so inferior. When in reality, it's like, well, look at all the. I mean, if black people were so oppressed, why isn't how did Rihanna get to perform at the Super Bowl? Like,
amazing, and grab her ass cheeks and pull it apart while she's pregnant for the whole world to see.
Right, but
and bend over and twerk and have all these dudes simping. Man, if you guys, probably most of you did see the Super Bowl halftime show. Imagine being like the baby in her and seeing that later. She's pregnant right now. She's literally freaking pulling her asshole apart for the fucking whole world.
Yeah, black women are talking about how they're the most, degraded. No one respects them. They're not protected. They have the lowest marriage rates, but you're the ones willingly twerking and making songs like WAP and doing all this. Like, you're degrading your own image. And it's so frustrating to me. I'm like, can you guys stop acting like this? Like, it's ridiculous how they behave. And it's so sad.
Someone posted something about Rihanna. I actually want to pull it up because I thought it was very interesting based on what we're talking about her degeneracy, being pregnant and things like that. This is somebody that I follow. You might know who this is. I think you guys might know who this is. His name is Xavier. I don't know how to say his last name, but it's Xavier or something. But I'm going to pull it up right now and what he said. So give me a second to pull it up on the screen.
Well, while you're pulling it up, I want to tell you what somebody said about Layla. I love her. Wow, is she smart? I hope she is on the show more. I could listen to her for hours. Wow, she's great. And then I responded, Layla will be back more often, Mark.
Yeah, you can definitely follow me at Propaganda Fluent, too.
Good call.
You can follow my channel.
Nice.
And we're going to have a new show coming out, Propaganda Culture, a little sub-show. So you're going to get a lot of Layla. Layla's coming down the pike.
So this is Xavier du Wasu. I don't know how to say his last name. My apology for butchering it. But he says Rihanna kept it way classier than most expected. That's what you call a billionaire turned mother who no longer needs to use sex to sell. Kudos to Riri.
Bro, it's sexualized the whole
right. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up that performance. And I'm going to see how classy she kept it, because I'm really curious to see if she really kept it classy.
And here's the thing: they used some key words there. Actually, classier than most people expected. I think he said, or something like that. Fair enough, because they think she's going to be a total hood rat hoe, and she didn't exactly do that. But it's certainly not.
Look at my baby coming out of my vagina. You're like,
dude, I'm worried the baby's going to pop out when she's twerking at one. I'm telling you, man.
Baby comes down, does a little spin move like this, slides around.
Starts breakdancing.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Little baby girl pops out, twerks.
Dancing is so
you know I'm doing this.
What'd you say?
So yeah,
dancing is so gross.
Dancing is so gross, you said?
Yeah, what lady is out here yeah. No one's doing that. That's not what you do at a dinner party. Just
oh my God. She belongs to the streets. That's the kind of girl that maybe a dude would mess around with, but you're never going to be taken seriously as a wife or something, unless you're A$AP Rocky, who's degenerate in his own ways, I guess. But
isn't that who she's with?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He married her, but or whatever, her baby mom or whatever they call it. But
I mean, if she's shaking her tail feather, I wouldn't be okay with that. I'm trying to find the video.
That's what I'm saying. I don't like that at all for the mother of my children, my wife. That's not no way.
Maybe I'm trying to find an actual video, but maybe I'll find it easier on Instagram, because YouTube is not really giving me any clips I can find. It's still pictures, the music behind it. So
of course, because they don't want to show it. But take your time. We got our Nikki's in the audience. What's up, girl? Thanks for joining us. She said hi to Layla. Yeah, Layla's going to be back often. We're going to do segments on here with her. We got to get her hot take out here regularly on the Age of Men. She's going to help us usher it in
she
the proper way.
Some hot takes for sure.
Well, she always does. That's a fact.
Let me look up Rihanna.
She got our ass banned off TikTok last time we went live on there, and like 15 minutes flat too. I was like, "Ooh, Layla's coming out swinging."
So I got a real slow. I got so many windows open. That's why it's like taking a long time. I got all these windows with like sound effects.
Take your time, man.
Dance. Oh.
Yeah, do it.
I'm like, oh, serving it.
How did the national anthem start off? Like, wade in the water, children,
I know.
and the home of the brave.
He said,
something like that.
We just gonna copy what they did and change the words slightly.
Amazing. So some of my friends a black friend I grew up with, he really put it well. He's like, it feels like they're segregating me doing this. Why do I need my own special anthem? And why does nobody else get that as a people?
Dude, they're advocating for segregation again. I'm telling you,
literally,
in a couple years, they're going to advocate for complete segregation. And they're really not thinking it through at all.
They're being used for, they're called useful idiots.
In 1912, the Communist Society wrote down, they were like, okay, we can use these people to push our Marxist agenda. They literally said that.
Yeah, no, I've read it. But Layla, it's like beating my head against the wall when I try to get people to go read something. Like, I swear to God, nobody reads anymore, and that's why they just put it in writing. They're like bold about it.
That's why I'm just gonna be like, they're gonna do it, and just like make it really ridiculous and stupid, and like pop locking and
do what sells, right? Do what sells.
There is that saying: if you want to hide something, hide it in a book.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a fact. Hey, Nikki said, Julius, that I did not get notified. We're being shadow banned already. We're used to that shit, Nikki. All three of us out here. Appreciate you telling us.
Make sure you guys are hitting that bell and hit all so you can get notified for everything that we do, whether it's a live, a short, a video. But make sure you hit that. Make sure you hit all.
Do that, but dude, honestly, I have it. Julius, I have it marked for you. And people tell me this all the time. Like, there's certain accounts, it's called shadow ban. They just do not notify you. And so that's likely happening.
Time. It takes time. You just got to keep pushing
and plus, too, yeah, plus
I like it. It shows you catch the most when you're near the target. I like it. I like when I hear shit like that. It tells me like we're somehow they have to dispense their fucking measures or time or whatever to put us in check. That tells me that must be a threat to them. I love it.
Okay.
Enjoy it while you can, New World Order. I'm coming for you guys. Let's go.
I think this might be it right here. I'm just trying to make sure it's going to play.
Oh, Michelle's in the house now too. M Bands, now it's a party. I did hit all. I know. I figured it happens. Thank you for telling us. But hey, the most wanted men on Instagram, men and women.
Real quick, let's give a shout out to everybody. Shout out to Amy. Shout out to Mark. Shout out to Nikki. Shout out to Kim. And shout out to Michelle. Appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah.
We got about 8 more minutes. Layla, are you gonna stay for the other hour, or what are you gonna do?
She might have to get out of here, but we'd love to have her. Okay,
because I'm gonna. Okay, so I got the video right here, Rihanna.
Yeah. Oh my God! Look at that outfit already. Tell me that's not like satanic red.
So it's only 2 minutes long, so I don't know what they're going to show in this video. I just found this is the first one I saw. So
be careful before you get a copyright strike.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. We might get a copyright violation, Julius. Actually,
why don't you play the? Why don't you?
So here's what I'm going to do.
Bending over.
What'd you say, Layla? Is that a pro tip? What do we do?
Yeah, just like scrub to the point where you can see her bending over. Where you just play that for like 2 seconds and then.
Good call. Also, turn the audio off.
Yeah,
that's often how they get it.
Well, so do you guys think that speeding up the sound will kind of make it
Just turn it off. Just turn the audio off, dude. That's the better way to go.
Okay. Let me see.
Because that's how they do it. 2 beats and then they will stop the stream.
Oh, nice. See, Layla knows.
Yeah,
she's a rebel out here.
I know. I'm trying. I mean, people have been posting on Instagram, but then I totally missed it because it refreshes itself.
I think we should not do this. Maybe if we have any doubts about it, we should go to Layla's clip. We should let her have a couple minutes to tell us about the clip she brought. Basically, fucking Rihanna's being a little hoe. fucking pregnant body, grabbing her butt cheek, pulling it apart, twerking, having a bunch of dudes simp over her, flap their dicks at her in unison.
It's magic. Oh my God,
It's magic. What'd you
Yeah,
say?
it's sad. It's counterproductive. They're just the same red color because it worked because y'all lost your minds over. It's like, can conservatives even get the idea of basic one? It's like, why would they do this? They're satanic. It's like, yeah, because it gets your attention. Duh.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing. There's no secret why or what. And then I hate. It's like over alerting people and letting them know they're Satanists. Okay, now what?
Right. What do we do about it? Let's
Now
go.
what?
We
What
need
are
to
you
be
gonna do
action
about it?
oriented. Yeah, we need
Do
plans.
you guys find it
Condemn
interesting?
them.
Do you guys find it interesting that when the Grammys were all like read out, they was like, it's satanic, but now Rihanna does red and it's like, go girl. Like you were just complaining 2 days ago about the
Interesting.
Grammy being all read out and they like wearing these red and
That
you know
was
satanic.
corny. The Grammys were corny. That was corny.
It was corny, and it wasn't
Literally.
even good art. Like they could do better satanic art, frankly, if I was a Satanist. But I think because of it, they probably got some blowback, and they toned this down. I think they did an audible.
That's Satanism, you need to read a book.
Well, that's a good point. That's not like how the real Satanists practice. They're just. I hate to even take time to explain what these people are. They're a bunch of losers. Is the bottom line. Long story short, they're a bunch of losers.
I'm not able to
they're cucks. Speaking of cucks, they're probably cucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't find the clip. Which I don't want to take forever trying to find it.
Well, grab Layla's clip. I want her to tell us.
But I just wanted to,
I'll share.
I think we covered it all basically in totality of like, oh yeah, because your guy's coming up.
Yeah, but I want to make sure that I'm going to send it to Julius. That thing you sent me in Discord.
So
it was interesting what your take on that. I just wanted to like get it before you left.
What clip are we talking about?
The Florida rapper that killed his baby mama or something. Yeah, I'm sending it to you right now, Julius.
Okay.
I'm sending it on IG.
Oh yeah, that Cynthia G clip. Yeah, that was pretty insane.
Tell us about it. Tell the audience.
No, like a woman was.
Yeah,
pregnant.
we'll get to that in just a second. Let me just send Zeus the link to the StreamYard so that he can know what's going on.
Yeah, good call. Tell the audience like what significance you think about this clip.
Oh yeah, no, that was just a story that just happened, and it's just like it's really because all of these agendas. If you look at like the Black community and how they're being used by the Marxists, and you look at women and how they're being used by feminism, all these agendas just destroy the people they're supposed to be helping. Like there's no.
Well, they use them. They use them up, and then they throw them to the side.
They use them and discard them.
Yeah, they're useful idiots. They call them. Literally, that's the term they use for them. Useful idiots.
Mm-hmm. It's really, really sad. They're like host bodies for the parasite. Once the parasite's done,
on to the next.
Get rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's all powerful.
Honestly, those kind of people, like, I think it's kind of, call me callous, but it's like survival of the fittest. They're kind of like a liability in as far as I see it for us. Like they're dangerous at best, but like they could be straight up against us at worst. And if they're that stupid to be getting themselves in these situations, I don't care. I frankly have no sympathy for them dying, but the problem is they're procreating. That's the whole point of this. It's like worrisome. It's like they're actually procreating.
Well, so okay, so
everybody's like simping for Rihanna, and like they're like, oh, pro-life vibes. What?
See, and
wait, what?
Okay. Real quick, this is the issue that I have with this whole Super Bowl thing. I find it funny that a few days ago everybody was talking about how demonic Sam Smith was. Matter of fact, look, this might be a hot take, but I'm gonna make this an argument. I know Sam Smith is gay, I get it, but think about it, right? When the man was doing something and it looks satanic, everybody's like, oh my God, look at how bad he is. Look at this outfit he's wearing. He's wearing this balloon kind of black thing. But then Rihanna shows up. She's pregnant, and everybody's like, go, girl. You do your thing, girl. Oh, she's pregnant. Oh, she's wearing a red suit. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Oh, she's performing. Oh, it's all good. So why did the man get demonized for doing satanic stuff, but because Rihanna's not going so overboard with it, but she's still wearing red. Like
It's
that's
still a satanic ritual.
I agree. I would maybe say the only distinction is he's a fucking gay and she's a hot chick, but like aside from that, like I hear you.
Well, I'm saying that I think that's interesting to me. That when a man does it, he's demonized.
No, I'm with you.
When a woman does it,
but no, Michelle brings up a good point because he was doing satanic stuff and she wasn't. It was more blatant on his. Either way, though, like.
But she's done blatant things in the past. She's done blatant satanic stuff in the past. Go look at her other videos. The Masonic floors. She's done a lot of satanic stuff in her videos prior. This ain't like.
No, that's true. In fact, I called it in the Discord ahead of time. Like, you heard it here first. There's going to be some satanic symbolism in here. And she comes out in bright red. I was like, told y'all. But then it actually was more mild than I expected. And I honestly feel because they got so much blowback because of the Grammys and shit, they had to audible and make it toned down a little. I think that's what happened because it's very actually it looks like they threw it together last minute. It's just a bunch of dudes standing around like grinding their day. It was very unimpressive from what I saw. It wasn't like a usual halftime show.
Yeah, so get this. This is coming from Breitbart News. This is talking about Rihanna still. It says viewers blast Rihanna as biggest sellout over Super Bowl performance, and it's like, how is that Kaepernick boycott going?
Wait, so what? Because she didn't like protest the NFL. She actually did the Super Bowl. She's like a traitor. Now they're saying.
Yeah. So here's
amazing. They're eating her alive too. They eat their own.
It's literally the same image. Look at that. And they're like, oh, but this is Queen. She's pro-life. Using this freaking ritual.
Yeah, ritual. And you can tell.
One big ritual, you guys. What the hell is wrong with you?
The one thing I noticed in the ritual, they were climbing the stairway to heaven. Like there's always symbolism in this stuff, in the occult stuff. And at the very beginning, they're like climbing up a stairway towards heaven, literally. So I think it was something like that, and then maybe that might signify like the fall from grace. Satan. Who knows? I didn't watch it enough, and again, I think they audibled pretty hard because it was very mellow compared to what I would expect. But again, the Grammys preceded it, so I think they got a lot too much blowback. And they're like,
it's the same color,
but it's the same exact color.
color.
And when you the other thing that I thought was interesting about it, the symbolism, is at one point there's like literally 30, 40, 50 dudes standing around, all like flopping their fucking dicks at her while they're on the ground. It's like they look kind of like women trying to seduce a man, and she's standing over all of them like dominating. It's just like Layla was saying earlier, back to the theme, upside down inversion. It seems they're pushing, and that kind of is what Satanism is. Like as above, so below. Everything's inverted. If there is almighty loving God from the Bible, fuck him. I'm against. I'm destroy all that shit. So it's just like everything you know to be true, they try to invert.
Even the singer who did the Black National Anthem was wearing red. Like, what?
Layla,
is wrong with you people?
Layla, I was just about to pull it up. Like, no lie. Look at this. I was just about to pull up the same thing. Literally. That's crazy. But that's what I mean, though. It's like people. It's inconsistent. The right is inconsistent. They're
just as childish as immature as the left in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Okay, so we're running around the hour mark. We're gonna bring on our next guest. Layla, is there anything that you want the folks to know? As far as what you do, your content, and what to do moving forward. Like, what would be your message to the audience?
Basically, we need to get better arguments because everything is like, the problem is nobody's actually trying to solve any problem. They're just trying to be emotional. And they think that the way that they're being emotional is actually winning. And it's like, it's not. Like, the whole gender war thing is so like pedestrian and ridiculous. It's not actually solving anything. And we need to get to the level of consciousness and use the actual like tools that would actually solve it, not just being like, oh, well, women are evil and that's why we don't want marriage, or men are trash and they're lazy. Like, let's get it together.
Let's actually have nuanced conversations about
let's actually use the actual tools and thinking processes to analyze and understand what happened and what's going on. Everybody just wants to be in their feelings.
Fuck your feelings, everybody. I don't give a shit about how you feel. How about that?
Like, calm down. Oh, women don't want me except for my money. Okay. And
who cares? Yeah, big deal.
Who cares? Who cares?
Then make money. Yeah, get money if you want women then.
It's just, and this is the other thing. This is the last point. everybody hates feminism. Everybody hates all these laws and all this stuff. And it's like, but who put these in place? Other men. You're actually competing
Beta
with other
males.
men.
That's what we're
You're
gonna get
actually
their right to
competing with
vote
other
too.
men.
Yeah, the beta
Men
males gotta go.
men funded feminism.
Yep, the beta
Men
males.
changed the laws.
The beta males are worse than the feminists. That's why the beta males gotta lose their right to vote
But
too.
you're competing with other men. They made it just harder for you to access women, where they still have what the elites still have their women and whatever they have.
That's deep.
You're competing with other men. You're just looking at the foot soldiers when you're not looking at the general, which is other men, because it's in their interest to make it difficult for you to reproduce and for you to carry on your lineage and for you to have stability and happiness. You need to you have to attack the realm of cause, not the actual result, like crazy women or feminism, whatever. You have to address it at the right level. Otherwise, you're never going to solve anything. And everybody's so reactive. They just wait until they see, just like with allopathic medicine, everybody waits until the symptoms are there. It's blowing up in your face. The disease has gone crazy. But the disease of feminism started with a bunch of men who said, hey, if we do X, Y, Z and fund this and do this and promote this, other men are not be able to reproduce and do all of these things and be competition anymore. So it's ridiculous.
Well, Michelle Embeds in the chat is totally feeling you. She says, Layla, preach.
So where can the folks find you at to follow all your propaganda fluent?
Oh yeah, they can follow me at Propaganda Fluent on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I'm on Twitter too, but I don't really post that much, but I'm about to as soon as I get my person to do that.
I tagged you on Twitter one time too. I'll share you guys' live. I tagged you one time. I actually have your link down below to your Instagram. So folks, you guys want to follow Layla, you can guys go down the link below. It's all there. And also for our next guest as well. Both of the links are down on Instagram. You guys want to go follow them.
If you know what's good for you, you'll go click those links, folks.
Yeah, Layla, it has been a pleasure. Are you sticking around or are you bouncing?
You can stick around for as long as you want. Understood. I was just gonna say you can bounce out at any time. You don't have to excuse yourself or nothing. But I understand, girl. This has been great.
No. This has been fantastic. I'm glad you came on. We do want to have you on again if you're down to come on. And hopefully we can have more. We can have you, our guests, more people, and we can actually have an actual full-on entertainment value.
Like a panel. I would love to have a panel. We should get a panel together.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what our goal has been. We're trying to make that happen. People keep flaking on us. So
panels are really good because then you can serve people. Because the problem is that I like my arguments because I study systems thinking and things like that. Actually, how do you solve complex problems? And so I try to address things at different levels than most people are used to thinking about it. And so it just it's funny to see the reactions. I'm but you're for the black thing, it's but you're actually white supremacist. And then they're like,
yeah.
They would wring your neck if you said that to them in real life. They would be so outraged.
Literally, it's you're just saying that these people are actually superior to you because you have to be superior to be able to do what you did, or you're lazy. Which one is it?
Ooh.
Either you're lazy or they're superior.
Hot take.
Can't be.
She's going out with a hot take, Julius. Layla's going to be back often, folks. Even if she doesn't want to, I'm going to make her as a friend do this because it's so fire. But she just brings the heat, dude. She brings the heat. She's
Yeah, so just let us know. We'll reach out to you. Let us know you want to come back on. And
I'm going to make it happen, Julius. I'm going to force her
check
even
our
when she doesn't want to.
Propaganda culture, so we can talk about the ratchetness. Because I need to go after these baby mamas.
Yeah,
great self-promotion.
Yeah. So if you guys want to follow Layla, her link is down below. All the pleasure to have you on. I'm glad you came on tonight. We'll have you on again. So thank you, Layla. We appreciate you. We will catch you soon. Yeah.
All right. Have a great night. I'll be watching. Bye.
All right.
Thanks, see ya. Son. You're the best. Yeah, she's a cool one, folks. She's one of a kind, if you ask me. Definitely a real one.
All right, so we're gonna bring on our next guest. Now, this guest right here, this is a guy that has been really building up his following. I think I started following him. I want to say maybe somewhere in mid 2022. Maybe I'll follow him before that, but he's definitely been building up. Very pro man, very pro entrepreneur. He's in the ministry space. He's talking about the red pill, gives you guys advice on how to get women, how to be successful, how to take care of yourself. This man here, this man is the myth, the legend, and we want to give you guys a big introduction. Welcome to our podcast, Age of Man, Zeus.
What's going on?
Unplugged.
What's going on?
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you.
It's been too long. Zeus, it's great to see you, bro.
It's been too long. It's been too long. I've been busy with a project. What's going on, you guys?
All is well, sir. How you doing?
Haven't been on a panel with you guys in a minute. Since that one we did on Instagram.
Yeah.
We were getting a bunch of feedback from women all upset about some of your takes on that one, bro, huh?
Yeah.
Yo,
what else is new, right?
Yeah, what she just said about what the girl just said, Layla, about feminism, men starting feminism. It's simply because men gave women what they wanted, which is why they got feminism. Well, you all wanted that, so okay, take it now. And now they don't want it. That's the irony now. After they hit 40, after they don't even want that shit anymore. All that feminism talk about being 50-50, taking care of their own bills, getting a job. Now they don't want a job. Now they want a nigga to take care of them. That's the irony of it all, right? So men only started just to give you what you wanted because you've been begging for it for so long. You all wanted your independence. You all wanted to be equal to men. You all didn't want chivalry no more. You want to be treated like equal. So that's what you have now. Now chivalry is dead, and now you're equal.
Hot take coming right off the jump, dude. So just tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your message? Like, what do you?
Hold on, wait, yo, you guys said y'all been dealing with flakes.
They kind of not been like coming through on their commitments when they say they're gonna be on.
This is why I transferred to doing an in-person podcast, right? Which I'm building. I'm building my studio now, which is why I'm taking time building my studio now. And the reason why is because doing on the online, the live stream isn't the same as doing the in-person, right? With in-person, they can't flake because they're already there. I mean, they could always tell you they're not coming, but for the most part, they're gonna come, right? Especially if you go pick them up or send them a cab or some shit. Versus online, I had dealt with a lot of flakes because y'all remember I had my podcast online, so I was dealing with a lot. I was dealing with girls. Girls flake a lot,
dude, like crazy.
Guys don't flake, brother. But females, oh my,
it's irritating. It's
bro,
irritating. Yeah.
Bro.
It
was crazy, bro.
So Zeus, tell the folks who you are because you got a really big following. I mean, you're in like the triple digits. You're like 300 and like what 50,000 something like that, like followers. I didn't realize you had that many. I was like, wait, he has that many. So who are you? What are you about? And how'd you get to the following that you got now?
My name is Zeus X Unplugged on Instagram. Call me Zeus. I've been I'm a landlord. I invest in stocks, crypto. I coach men on dating and how to navigate, become best versions of themselves. What else I do? And I just, pop my shit on Instagram and on YouTube, right? I do a podcast as well, just like you guys do. I did live stream. I'm about to transition over to in person with a panel of people as well. Probably one co-host and then a panel of women, or maybe two co-hosts, depending on how the situation goes.
Yeah.
And I got following from
actually I got two co-hosts.
Yeah. Actually, I got, but see, I'm doing mine in person. So y'all have to come over here. I know my man already on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Have to come to the
We've been
East Coast,
planning. Julius and I, our long-term vision is to be in the same area so we can have like a studio in person, just like you're doing. I'm inspired by you, man. That's dope.
Who's willing to move? Who's willing to move though?
That's the question. That's what we got to figure out.
No, I was actually telling Nick, I was like, if we did it so well, we could have one in Cali and one in Pennsylvania and just kind of go back.
That's a good attitude.
That's a lot of traveling though.
True, but it'd be dope to get like the Cali girls and the PA girls. Do you see what I mean? Kind of get two different perspectives.
But see, the problem with that is logistics. So when you travel every single time, at a certain point, somebody's gonna get tired of it, right? Especially if it's not monetized yet.
Yeah.
So you need to build up a monetization first, to where it's worth it to invest that kind of money every time.
Well, I think you should come to Cali because these Cali girls are crazy.
That's probably a good call.
That's true. That is. There's a lot of girls out there. Cali is definitely better than PA, right? So it's a big difference. It's a different scenario. Yeah. So I would say Cali is better than PA for sure.
Yeah,
it's worse and it's better for content. It's worse than shows, but you know what I mean? It's better.
Yeah, in PA we probably get all the midwives, and then Cali we get all like the 20-year-olds. Like,
yeah, correct. Plus, Cali's more of a destination where everybody goes to tour in, like Atlanta, Miami, and New York City. So You go to Cali, you're gonna get that energy you need to get. Versus PA, you're not gonna really get that in PA. No matter what you do, you're not gonna get that in PA. It's gonna be hard to find especially if you're gonna have women on. It's gonna be hard to find a panel of women in PA.
That's a fair point. Well, hey, Zeus, I was watching one of our more controversial lives that we've done recently on Instagram just to kind of like catch up and get some questions for you. And you had a quote, I believe you said, you're not pursuing state marriage. Could you maybe explain that? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, so what I mean by that is marriage in itself is honestly not in the best interest of men, right? Contractual marriage with the state. What I mean by that is getting married, signing papers for the state, because women it's a contract that women are quite frankly incentivized to break. So as a man, it's not in your best interest unless you have kids with that woman and you're trying to build a family where you have kids. If you don't have kids, I don't see the point in why you would get married with a woman, honestly, right? And maybe if I just don't see why you want to invest in that type of problem where you're now she can divorce you for whatever reason she has, whether it's irreconcilable differences, because she's bored, because she cheated on you, whatever the reason.
She could fuck somebody else. Yeah, she could cheat on you and then still
and get half your shit. It's just not worth it. And nowadays women date up. Remember, women date up or equal across. So now if you make her or more than her, you got to pay her alimony.
Bro, they're incentivized by the state to dump your ass.
Yeah. And if you got a kid with her, that's child support on top of alimony. It's just not worth it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I would get married. If I did get married, it'd be with a marriage ceremony, but the state would not be involved in my marriage.
I've said the exact same thing.
Yeah, so that means if you're here because you want to be here. And you can leave at any moment because the marriage is between me and you and God, which is how it should be anyway. It's how it's always been for the most part anyway, right? It's just now this thing where the state's involved and you can't just leave a woman if you want to. But
so I got one more question for Zeus off of the live that I'm talking about, and then Julius, you hit him with anything you want. I think you said another quote, something like, "You're not giving nothing to no women unless and until they earn it. No compliments or attention or nothing." Right?
Correct.
Can you explain that? Can you explain that approach?
So, like me personally, I do it. I practice in my daily life as we speak today. Right? I don't give women. I don't go on dates unless you earn them. I don't give you any. Maybe the first initial date. But after that, it's quiet. Like, you know what I'm saying? After maybe the first 2 or 3 to fuck you. But once that is over after that, right? You got to earn it from that point on. Earn it through a ladder of compliance, right? Show me that I got to see that you're equally invested into me, right? When I see that you're equally invested into me, then I'll show the same love in return. But I'm not going to be taking you out on dates and you're not complying. You're doing what you want to do. I ain't fucking you. I see guys who go on dates with girls, 15 different dates, 20 different dates, and get no pussy from them. Wasting your time and your money. Right, so I don't give dates freely. I don't give likes on Instagram freely. Right, I don't follow anybody who don't follow me. Right, I don't unless it's like a page where I'm trying to network with them. They follow them one time, then I unfollow them. They don't follow back. Some shit like that. Right, but I don't follow them. They don't follow me. I damn sure don't message girls. Like those Instagram models. I don't send them messages. I don't write comments on their page. I don't talk to them. I don't like many pictures. I don't do none of that shit. Like I don't do none of that simping shit whatsoever. For me, it's like if I'm gonna give you attention, it's because you give me attention in return. I'm not giving you anything that doesn't benefit me, right? So all these guys and I tell guys all the time, stop following girls who don't follow you back. Stop giving away free attention because that's why girls act the way they act now. You see these Instagram models when they ignore you. Want to know why they doing that shit? Because niggas like you are following them, sending them messages without any attention in return.
Endless attention from a bunch of simps out there.
And now you're growing her ego more and more and more and more. When you see these girls with 1 million followers, only 2 niggas, and she's only following 3 people, which is her family. It's a waste of your time, bro. Following her. She ain't gonna notice you. She don't know you even exist unless your status is all the way up. It's not worth your energy, honestly. So I don't really bother with that. If I'm following an Instagram model because that bitch follows me already, that's the only way it happens. And even then, I might.
That's something that I was telling Nick yesterday, and mind you, it's like this is something that I've already noticed. It does take status in order to get the things that you want. It's just how it is. Because look at you have 350,000 followers because you worked hard to get that. You have chicks who have like 400 followers and got hella dudes in their DMs, but you worked hard to get that. Now I'm sure you got some women in your DMs. Whereas when you have 300 followers, I'm not saying you never got females before, but now that you've been working hard, you created this status. Now it's like, who's this guy that got this many followers? Hey, baby, my name is Lisa.
I've seen girls fall in love with Zeus on lives and shit. Like literally live on the live, they're falling in love with the guy. Like, yeah,
you got some girl but then you got some girl who have like 400 followers, and then some dude's like, "Hey, I think you're hot." Like,
yo, listen, you guys, right? Here's the thing: a woman with followers is not the same thing as a man with followers, right? let's say I had 1 million followers and the girl had 1 million followers. The biggest difference is that man had to work for his fucking followers. The woman she just monetized her sexuality. She put a sexuality out there in the market, got attention from men, and that's how she got her followers. She didn't work for anything. She posted pictures with her ass out, with her titties out, showing her body silhouette. Some type of sexualization is what got her the attention. Versus the man, he had to work for his fucking followers, right? You know you have to put that work in, that effort in, because no one just follows men. Whether it's men or women, no one just follows men.
You got to earn that shit, every one of them.
Value. For a man to get followers, he got to bring some type of value, right? For him to get likes, he got to bring value. For him to even get views, he got to bring value. Fuck likes. Let's forget likes and followers. For him to even get views alone, a man has to bring value to the table, right? On any social media network. Versus a woman, she can get views just because her titties is out.
Well, couldn't you relate the same thing to sex?
This is why I say all the time, women are born with value, men have to create their value. Because she can just exist, and she gets more attention than even the most top tier man.
Yeah, matter of fact, break that down for us, because we've had this conversation before. Nick and I have had this conversation. Oh,
say it again.
Go repeat.
Nick and I were having this conversation, and with other people. Break it down to us. When a man who has to create its value versus a woman who's born with it. Kind of break that down so folks can understand like what that means.
So what I mean by that is, women are born with the value. But what I'm saying by that is, when women are born, right? The moment a woman turns 18, she's born with value. Her value being her looks, and quite frankly, her box. That's her value, right? And what I mean by that is, she can get far in life with just her looks and her box. A woman could be stupid. A woman is the only one in the world who can be stupid as fuck and still get by in life because they're pretty. How many stupid bimbos do you see and know that gets by that have been to Dubai, that have traveled all across the world, have had luxury experiences? A woman could go to a club and have the full club experience with no money in her pocket. We see it all the time. Did spend $1, had bottles, had fun, had pictures, had friends, all kind of shit. She meet new people she never met before in VIP sections. Whereas a man, for him to have that exact same experience, he has to have money or have bought the bottles on the table or know someone in that section where he's built a network to know those people and somebody in that section, right? So something we have to put some type of work in, whether it's working getting the money to buy the bottles or working getting to the way to network to be in the section with the people who bought the bottles. But no matter how you split it, men have to put work in to get the same value that the woman has for free from simply existing. She could just exist and get followers, like we just said earlier, and get followers on Instagram. A man has to be funny, maybe do a podcast, maybe create some type of content. He has to do something to gain that exact same level of value that she got, and still will not be able to match hers. That's the irony.
Yeah. But doesn't over time, Zeus, doesn't that go down for the women? And if a man works hard and starts to earn value, like the tables can turn in that regard for some men and women.
Say that again.
Like over time, that value is going to go down for women. They're not going to be as valued as they were when they were young and fertile, and there's other new hot young chicks coming around. Whereas a man, if he keeps working hard and he proves himself of value, that man can start seeing an upside eventually. Whereas the women are going to see a downside that they never realized.
So men. Explain to me one more time, hurry. If I'm going, I say
So to bring it home, like women, when their looks and whatnot start to go down, and younger, hotter women are coming around, their value all of a sudden can start to crash. Whereas a man, if he's working hard his whole life and starts to prove a value, his can go up.
Yeah, basically when she's young, her status is up. When the guy's young, he's like down here. But when he works to get his status, the older he gets, the more higher his status goes. The older she gets, the more her status drops.
His window can open and hers starts to close, right?
Yeah.
And that's the difference, right? For men have, so again, the age, if people think age don't matter, age absolutely does matter, right? For a man, he has to, the older a man gets, typically, this is why women, when you were in high school, you always noticed that the girls dated all the older guys, right? No matter how fucking young she is, she was dating older guys, probably the drug dealer on your block, some money dude somebody who didn't go to your school, whether it was a college, somebody who didn't go to your school. I don't know why, because older men typically bring the security value that she's looking for. Versus you at your age at 18, let's say you're 18 and the girl's 18, you can't offer her shit. The only way an 18-year-old man is valuable is in college, because in college it's a different ecosystem going on, right? There's a different dynamic in college. Women don't expect the same things when you're in college; they expect from you in regular life, right? It's once you're out of college that you get that real life experience as a man, right? In college, got to do to probably be acceptable is maybe be a jock, right? That's the only thing you probably put your head up the other guys. But for the most part, you ain't got to even do that, right? Whereas for outside of college, you got to have your money together. You got to have a car, an apartment, all this shit that you got to have to exist inside the world. And in the real world, as a man gets older, he develops these valuable traits that make him attractive. He gets more confidence. He becomes more romantic. He knows how to date. He knows how to court women. He knows how to speak. He knows how to convey himself in an attractive manner. He knows how to read body language. He knows how to make money. He knows how to save. He knows how to protect, provide. All these things make him more attractive over time. He knows how to lead, etc. He becomes an actual man over time. So men typically peak at the age of 36. By the time he's 36, he's the man she's looking for. But here's a problem now. As a woman gets
36,
older,
by the way, ladies, I'm hitting my stride.
so now, by the time a man's 36, he's on his incline, right? But women, as they get older, they're on the decline. So she's trying to meet you when she gets to her decline right here. By that time, you don't want her ass. See what I'm saying? Old women that curve you while they're on the decline at 30, because when she hits 30, she's already on her decline. The moment she hits 30. Let's not even say 36. The moment she hits 30, she's on her decline. So by the time she's on her decline, she's coming at you right here, trying to talk to you. It's over, baby. I'm good on you. I'm trying to look past you to the girls who's on the incline. The girls who are on the incline are 18 to 24 typically, right? Those are the most desirable ages according to statistics. Men from 18 to 60 years old all prefer a girl from 18 to 24 years old, right? Maybe 27 if you stretch it. So what I'm saying is, after a certain age, she's no longer as valuable as she was when she was younger, and it's because for fertility reasons, right, as well as beauty reasons. The younger you are, the more beautiful you are, right? Men look for youth, beauty, and fertility. So if you have these three things going for you, then you're winning. But the problem is, women who typically are in the 18 to 24-year-old range and their most prime want to be hoes and go through whole phases, want to chase careers, want to do all the stupid shit, that they should be putting on for later. The whole thing should be happening at all. But like the career chasing, all that stuff should be put off for later while they're getting a husband first. Right? I tell women all the time, you want to get a husband while you're young, not when you're older. Lock down a husband first, then you chase your career. But women are doing it backwards. They're doing it backwards.
And it's not working out for them, right? It's not working out for them.
Correct. Feminism has programmed them and indoctrinated them to chase a career and not chase a husband because they don't need a man now. But the problem is when you get older, you realize you do need a man, and by that time, the men that you want don't want your ass.
It's
so
too
now
late.
You're forced to settle with any dickhead you can get along with.
Yeah, that's why I would argue that. I'm glad you said that too, because that's why I would argue women will settle for less because, again, when they're younger, they're looking for the top guy, the best guy possible, because they want that strong man, right? But then when they hoe around a lot, and then they realize I've been ran through, so now they gotta look for the next sucker that's gonna tolerate all their BS that they're bringing to the relationship. And when that guy is like, you know what, I don't care about your past. You know, we all make mistakes. Like she'll accept that guy for accepting her, because women like, just accept me. I want you to see me. And the next thing you know, that guy gets walked all over. She's driving the car. She's talking to her guy friends. Just all these things that's so intolerant, but he accepts it, and he knows deep down inside, I should be speaking up, but I don't want to lose her because this is the best that I can get.
And that's the problem.
It's wild, man.
Hey, Zeus, real quick. Somebody said in the comments, I guess they want to see your face. The women are trying to see your face. They said, "Can you aim your camera up a little bit?"
All right, wait, yo, I'm gonna go on a different phone, okay?
Yeah, cool.
Sign up to another phone for you guys, all right? It was easier.
Take your time, man. Take your time.
For sure.
I got a
I'm signing out. Julius. Yeah. On a different. I'm signing in right now on a different. You'll see me coming on another one. Hold on. Give me one second.
Should I send? No, I don't gotta send you the whole link again.
No, he's just gonna come in and
I got it. I'm coming in. You see me?
I got you.
Oh, that's gonna cause feedback. Drop out on the other phone. Perfect. I got a great question for Zeus that I've been asking people lately. So Zeus, it kind of dawned on me. Tell me if I'm onto something or not. If you're a straight dude and you're watching straight porn, a dude is fucking another girl to get off, is that not cucking?
Bro.
You're right. Actually, you're
right.
Come on, man. Come on, man. You're right. It is. Technically, you're right. It is. Right?
Zeus. Let me tell you my analogy.
Hold on. I say this. It is cucking. I never thought about it like that. You're right. It is. I guess I've
Let me,
been a cuck.
no, let me tell you my analogy. Let me tell you my analogy.
My whole younger years, I've been a cuck, but I never thought about it. It is cucking.
Zeus,
Look,
too. I was
look,
too. That's
look.
why
It
it
is.
dawned on me at one point. Am I being a cuck doing this? What the fuck?
It's
I
a
stopped
form of
doing
cucking.
it.
Yeah.
It
Okay,
is.
so look. Here's what made me realize this. Like I was talking to a guy when I was doing Lyft, right? We were talking about society. We were talking about what how their brains are being brainwashed, and then we started talking about porn, right? I was like, dude, porn is bad, blah blah, blah, right? I said, if you think about it, porn is cucking. He was like, what do you mean? And this is how I showed him. I said, imagine the guy filming his girlfriend, holding his phone like this or a camera, whatever he's doing, and he's watching. Like that's like me being at Nick's house, and then I'm filming my girlfriend giving Nick head, right?
And I'm like,
And then here I am doing this. Now imagine the guy who's watching at home doing this. It's almost like you're filming the sex.
literally,
So
dude.
you're
There's a difference between cucking. You're cucking, man.
No, yeah, I never thought about it like that, but it is. That's a fact. It actually is. It's cucking.
You can watch some lesbians, maybe that's not cucking, but straight porn's cucking, bro.
Yeah, it is. It's wild, man. But no man should be watching porn, bro. Look, porn will ruin your mind. There's a word for it. Not just ruin your mind, but there's a word for it. Like it not dopamine, but there's something else that porn does. Like
Serotonin, maybe, yeah, serotonin.
it's something like that. But basically, what it does is it basically rots your brain. Like I would argue that it makes you a lot dumber.
Well, somebody in the Discord just said this, and tell me like if this is a distinction or not. It's not your girlfriend, so it's not cucking. I've heard that before. It has to be your girlfriend, but I'm saying in principle, you watching another dude fuck a chick and you get off on that is
that's
cucking.
wrong though. That's wrong though. They say it's not your girl not cucking, because not to get a cuck don't only have to be your girl, right? There's cuck porn where it says my coworker watched me fuck. Cucking is all forms of it. It's different forms, right? So
Right.
I can sit here and say my whole younger years I was a cuck. I didn't even realize I was watching that.
Yeah.
It really is.
Okay.
It is cucking.
Let's have fun with that then. It's not your girl, so it's not cucking. But I would argue it's cucking when multiple men are having sex with one girl because you're willing to watch your homie bang out another chick. Like you're looking at
I did. Me and my boys ran taking on many chicks. I guess I was a cuck then too. We ran taking on all kind of chicks.
Amazing, Zeus. That's hilarious, bro. Tell him.
I always thought that was weird. Never I hear dudes in high school and like say, "Oh man, we ran a train." I'm like,
I ain't gonna hold you. That's how
I'm like, y'all think that's girls to be watching each other like.
That's how I built my following. That's how I built my following.
She ain't grabbing both of them and like doing this to you guys, like stopping
What do you mean that's how you built your following? What'd you say?
Like that's how I built my following. I had started. I used to have orgy parties, right? I used to have orgy parties where me and my boys would invite a group of bitches over, whether it's one group, two groups, three groups, whichever one actually pulls up, we try to fuck. We almost always fuck them because we'll have free liquor, free food in a penthouse with many different rooms, and we'll fuck them bitches.
And that's how you got your following?
Yeah, I used to orgy parties all the time.
Wow.
That was the number one way. I mean, after that, I got to do other ways, but hold on. Sorry, you can hear me? I got to do other ways, but that was like the main way. That was the main way that got me started, was that.
That's hilarious, bro. I'm glad I asked.
So you were cucking essentially.
Huh?
So you were cucking.
Basically, yeah. Basically, yeah.
I was too, man. And that's why I bring it up. Like, when it dawned on me,
I didn't think about it like that.
Age.
Say it again?
I was trying to realize at a younger age, like when it finally dawned on me, I was like, "Oh my god! All this time I've been doing this. At least I should know I'm doing it or something." It felt weird.
No, I didn't realize it was that, but it definitely was that.
Okay, so now that you understand that, like, what does that make you think about? Like it now. Like, does that make you? Do you think differently now, or are you still like, it is what it is? Or
if right now, Nick said, "Yo, I got some hoe right now. I'm about to bring her through, bro. Bring her through. We both gonna fuck that bitch. I don't care, bro."
I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I can't see myself. Like, could think about this one chick and 5 guys like this just waiting to like, oh, you know what I mean? That's super weird to me. And they're all naked, playing with each other. I'm like, I couldn't do it, bro. I'm like, y'all gay. y'all on some weird stuff.
You know what it is, bro? I was in a first it started out me being in the game, right? So when I was gang related for so long, so like we all shit bitches all the time. So it was like niggas didn't give a fuck. Like niggas used to always shit bitches. Back then, gay wasn't a thing like that back then, like how it is today. Like gay was like a taboo thing that it is. Like today, it's grown to this big ass monster where everyone's fucking down low or homosexual. But before, that wasn't a big thing before. So niggas didn't really worry about the gay part. Running the trains was normal. No one thought it was gay. You know what I'm saying? Like, whereas now, you don't know what niggas now. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who you're around now. It's a little bit different now.
Hey, so I got another question for you. This is topical. He's been a little silent lately because of his arrest, but the very influential man, Andrew Tate, you got any thoughts on him or what's going on?
It's crazy. Andrew Tate, there's no evidence to support his incarceration, right? And the fact that he hasn't been indicted on any charges is beyond peculiar, right? Like, why has he not been indicted on any charges? What are the actual charges he's facing? What did he do? Where's the evidence that he did anything wrong? There's nothing to show that. It's just they're trying to silence him the best they can, or maybe they're trying to assassinate him. He may end up dead. God forbid he may end up dead in jail or something. They're just fucking with him just because they can't find anything on him.
No, it's funny about
they're
that.
Holding him illegally. They're holding him illegally. It seems like they keep finding excuses to extend it. I've been saying it from the beginning. They extended it from 3 days or a day to 3 days to a month. They're just going to keep. They have to get rid of him. He's too influential and he's too independent.
Well, so I've been following the case a little bit. I've kind of been hearing people's takes on it. Per Romania's law, and how they do things out there, one can say, I'm not agreeing with this, I'm just saying based on what they're saying about the case, one can say that Romania has reasonable unreasonable or
whatever, like reasonable suspicion to hold him or something, or
yeah, they have reasonable suspicion to hold him. And so what they're trying to say is that because he did the things he did as far as how he got women to work for him doing the whole lover boy thing, they're trying to consider that as human trafficking, even though those women consented to working with him. And the women that they try to claim were trafficked had came out and said we were not trafficked. Like many women that came out and said we were not trafficked, but they're trying to put it on him that because he did it this way, it's a form of human trafficking. When it's really not.
The charges need to stick. To Zeus's point, like they've not brought any charges against him. If they had something credible.
Yeah, but what you just described is not human trafficking, right? So
it's not. It's
not. There's no formal charges that they've indicted him on. By this time, and I've been through the legal system, they got to indict him by this. He should have been indicted by this time. The fact that he's not indicted and it's not even a murder case is crazy, right? And this is the problem. And he's been saying this for a long time. If I die, I didn't kill myself. I didn't kill myself. He knew they were coming after him. He knew someone was on his tail. He knew they were trying. He knew he was getting too big, and at a certain point, they're gonna silence him. And he's too big to where he's putting out there. He's an independent thinker, right? And when you think different from the norm, they gotta silence you somehow, some way. Like Malcolm X, right? When like Martin Luther King. Whenever you're too big and you're pushing an agenda that they don't want pushed, they gotta find a way to cut the shit short. And the best way is to get rid of that man. Either get him off the streets or kill him.
Yeah, and he even called it, and it's likely to happen. But
he's lucky he ain't dead.
Who knows? He might be dead for all we know right now. You know what I mean? He might be dead in there or something. Or
so he's been tweeting. I follow his tweets a lot. I'm always
from jail. That's also bizarre. Like,
well, I knew a friend that was actually. I have a friend I know personally. Like we're mad tight. He was in jail a couple of years back. He was always on Facebook a lot.
Yeah, I know that it's accessible, but it's wild to me that they have him put away without bringing any charges against him. Yet he has access to the internet to tweet out to the. It's just a mess.
It's all one big mess, man. It's all one big mess. I tried to reach out to him. I was trying to ask him like, "How you doing?" And then somebody like commented was like, he trafficked girls. And I was like, and then they showed this video that's super edited, and then I wrote back, I'm like, this video is edited, bro. Like this is no proof.
Yo. And then him having internet, it's not. I mean, he can have somebody he knows get on the internet for him and tweet it for him. It don't necessarily he has access to himself, right?
That's true.
Because trust me, I say that's very possible.
So, Zeus, before we had multiple guests on, I actually was going to call this episode "The State of Men," but I called it "The State of Society." So I wanted to kind of show you something and kind of get your thoughts on it. Of all of us to kind of talk about this. It's something I saw on Instagram, and I was like, "Who the f made this?" It's super cringe. I'm gonna show it right now.
Is it the sexy mama selfies, Julius? Are we gonna get into this?
No, it's. I don't know if we'll get banned for this, but I'm gonna show it. So this is what it is. It's on Instagram.
Oh, look at that.
Check this out.
Is that a naked dude bowing down to his boss-looking wife?
Yeah, this is what it said. It says gender roles are changing. Females are becoming the providers and protectors, while males are taking the subservient, submissive role. Don't be afraid of this change, boys. You had your time on top. Now it's time for you to stay home, barefoot, waiting for us to come home to you. And when we do, you will drop to your knees, bow your head, and thank us for taking care of you.
So
Zeus,
here's the
thoughts.
thing with that, right? My fault, Nick. Go ahead. I don't want to.
No, I said Zeus thoughts. I want to hear your take, bro.
Here's the thing with that, right? It's a social construct, right? And the problem is reality dictates something different, right? So that's not happening in reality right now. Women all across the board want a protector, a provider, a leader, etc. Even though they can't get it, they still want it. Even though they're making their own money, even though they have their own protection, they probably even have their own security, they still want a guy who's going to take care of them, right? No matter how much money a woman makes, no matter how skilled she is and can fight herself, she still wants a man who's going to protect her and provide for her. So this is a great slogan for feminism and to continue perpetuating it, but it's not reality. It's not realistic because no woman feels this way. Even the most woke, feminism, liberal, fucking left-wing bitch out there do not believe this nonsense. Right? It's good to say it. It's good to say it, but in practice, it doesn't work. A woman's not going to work a job to come home to a man like that. That's just not happening, bro. And let alone protect. Even if a woman was providing and she's a breadwinner, it's never for a long period of time. And even if, let's say it was, she's going to emasculate that man every chance she get. Every argument you have, that her masculinity is going to start to rear its ugly head. Right? It's never going to work long term because women are not built to provision for a man long term. And let alone protect the man. Even if she was paying all the bills, she ain't protecting no nigga. That's where any woman draws a line. I'll tell you that right now. Even if she pays the bills, even if she, because some women who will pay bills, right? There's some ugly women out there, some fat bitches out there who pay the bills, who give you the tax money, all that bullshit, right? The problem is she ain't protecting your ass. There's no way she's gonna fight to defend you when a nigga puts hands on her. That's just not happening. So this is stupidity. It's not even real. It's like a fucking cartoon.
Yeah.
So to bring it full circle, that's propaganda. It's not real. It's propaganda they're putting out to try to fucking put it in the women's heads or whatever, in the men's.
Matter of fact,
right? They're putting this out there. They're putting it in your head. Here's the problem. They're putting this shit out there, trying to say we can switch gender roles. It's okay that she makes money. Accept that. But the problem is women won't accept. Here's the problem with this feminism propaganda, right? Women themselves don't even want to accept this bullshit. That's the irony. Not only do men not accept it, women themselves don't want that shit. Women don't want to be the fucking provider in the household. I don't care if a woman makes $1 million per year. Statistically speaking, they still prefer a man who makes more money than them.
Bro, it's called hypergamy. It's well understood psychologically.
26 to 58% more than they make. So that even then, so this doesn't work. Women themselves will tell you, I don't want a fucking 50-50. And if they do tell you want a 50-50, I promise you it's always 60-40, where you're still paying for all the dates. She may go half for some bills, but you're still paying majority of the bills or majority of the dates. It's never 50-50. I promise you, it never is.
Do you so we always we talk about women who have hypergamy. Is it fair to say that women have financial hypergamy?
What do you mean?
Hold on. I'm gonna say this also. And the more I have to add this a lot. And the more prettier she is, the less she's willing to go 50-50 with you. But go ahead. You said the hypergamy. Financial hypergamy. Yes, women have hypergamy in general, right? They just want to date up. It's not even just finances. They want a nigga with better status, more status than them, right? They want a man who's a superior in every regard, not just a nigga who's more confident than them, has more status than them, has more income than them, has more ambition than them, has more charisma than them. You can go on a date right now, Julius. You can go on a date with a girl, and if you're boring, if the date is whack and she's boring, she's gonna blame you.
Yeah.
She requires you to be more charismatic, more talkative, more enthusiastic, more funny. You gotta be better than her. You gotta be superior in every regard. Yet she still wants to treat her as a fucking equal. That's the dumb shit we gotta deal with today.
Well, the modern woman wants it when it benefits them to be traditional, but to be equal when it benefits them that way. It seems they want their cake and eat it too.
Yeah, women want to be able to have. Here's the problem: women want the authority of a man, the privilege of a woman, to have the accountability of children, and the shit it just doesn't fucking work.
I like the authority of a man, the privileges of a woman, accountability as children. I like that. I was reading this article actually. I don't have time to pull it up right now, but I found this article where it talked about women that not so much prefer a man to be provider, but there was this kind of embarrassment of making more than him. And there was a woman who was making more than I believe her husband, if not boyfriend. And although she was like, it shouldn't matter to a degree, but she felt some type of way knowing that she made more than him. So when she was talking to other women, she noticed that other women kind of want the same things. They don't mind women making their own money, but something about it, just like they want men to be the one to
You
provide.
know what it is? It's biological hardwiring.
Yeah.
Women are designed since the dawn of time, even before fiat currency. Let's look before fiat currency, right? Before fiat currency even existed, men were what? Hunters and gatherers, while the children stayed home, nurtured and created and took care of the kids, right? Men had to go out into the world to create excess resources to provide calories to those children and his wife or his woman. So even before money, she still wanted a provider. Even when you didn't have money, when you had to hunt and use spears and use bows and arrows to gather food and meat and take care of our kids and get furs and make fires and all that stuff, it's the same thing. It's a millennium of programming. Just like women, that's why women want taller men, stronger men. So in times of peril, you can defend her, protect her, except it makes her feel more protective against you when you're taller than her, bigger than her, stronger than her, right?
Yeah.
It's the women, they're designed to want this. And just like men are designed to want youth, beauty, and fertility. Men are designed to want women men are designed to want many women. It's been this way since the dawn of time as well. It's hard wiring. That's why when a man gets money, when a man has options finally, he's gonna choose to fuck a bunch of different women. A lot
So
of
while
men
we
say,
have a
"Well, I'm
few
gonna be
minutes,
monogamous."
man.
That's because you're broke. If you had money, you had all these women throwing themselves at you, you would change your mind in a heartbeat. A lot of men don't have this option, so they pretend to be monogamous or they'll try to play the game of being monogamous. But a lot of men aren't monogamous and they lie about and cheat behind a girl's back, all this kind of weird shit. And that's the problem.
What's your best pitch for monogamy while we have like maybe 10, 15 minutes left in the show? Kind of bring that home. Or I mean, polygamy, not monogamy.
Polygamy?
Yeah.
Pitch. So you mean what do I tell a girl?
Or just, women, men, like if you're trying to sell it to a man and or a woman, however you
All right,
do it.
if I try to sell it to, you ain't got to sell it to a man. Men will do it anyway. But if I try to sell it to a girl, it was matter of fact, I did it tonight. Listen, I'll tell a girl, listen, man. I told a girl, listen, yo, if I'm gonna deal with a girl long term, right, I'm gonna have probably 4 to 5 women, right? 4 to 5 serious women, right? And that way I ain't gotta deal with a bunch of different hoes. So if I have 4 or 5 serious women who I'm taking with seriously in the household of different flavors, I want to have a black, Asian, Spanish, Arabic, and a light-skinned black woman, right? No, and a white woman. Did I say white? And a white woman.
She white.
So I have all flavors, right? I never cheat because I have them all at home, right? And of course, I got to make a certain level of income, right? I did that with the 7-figure mark, right? When I get to the 7-figure mark, then I'll be able to implement this into my daily lifestyle. But I'm telling her, you're getting what you want. She's like, I ain't never gonna deal with that. But I'm saying you're getting what you want. Like, what's the problem? If you're getting what you want, which is I plan on taking care of all of them financially, providing for them financially, emotionally, spiritually, whatever they need, protecting them, taking care of the kids, etc. Then what's the problem with me having 4 or 5 different women in the household? Because guess what? When there's 5 women in the household, you're all able to take care of the household duties. It's even easier for you now. There's not one woman cleaning up this whole house when it's 5 different women cleaning up the same house. Now you can delegate chores to each woman. Does that make sense? It makes it easier for y'all to get along. On top of that, you got sister wives now. Because I don't tolerate girls' trips. Well, now you can go trips with each other now. I don't mind that because you're all married to me. See how that makes sense now?
Wow.
On top of the fact that you all other women keep other women in line. So if one goes out and try to sneak around and cheat, the other one's gonna tell me. Want to know why? Because competition. They all fight for that extra inch of attention, that extra inch of love. So since they're all competing, it keeps a healthy competition going on to where everybody holds each other accountable. I ain't gotta be on you or look at your phone because she watching your ass. If you want a girls trip and she see you being flirtatious, she gonna let me know. You see what I'm saying? So it works itself out. On top of the fact that for the kids benefit too because they have multiple mothers in the household instead of one mom who's gonna go crazy, who's gonna be stressed out. Well, now you can have time with your kid. Let's say right now you're tired. Well, Lisa could watch the kid for you now, or Becky could watch her. You see how that works? It's a great dynamic for the whole family. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, I would just say this, like, why do you think so many people, I don't want to say so many, but why do you think there are people who maybe are against polygamy and who prefer monogamy?
So I can tell you why I know a lot of people. Here's the thing. women are against it. It's really women are against it, right? And many men, if they had the chance and the opportunity, would do it. Let's be real here, right? If any man, I don't care, the most monogamous man, unless he's religious, but he's like a church, maybe. But for the most part, any other man would do it. And I'm gonna tell you why women are against it. Because they make their own money now. Because women back in the days, have always been okay with polygamy. Men have been doing it to the dawn. As a matter of fact, women nowadays deal with polygamy and don't even know they deal with it. Because they niggas cheating on them, fucking a bunch of different girls behind their back, all kind of shit. They deal with it now. So what's the difference between me telling you versus me lying to you? That's the only difference. And the reason why today they don't deal with it because now they make their own money. Because women make their own money now, they feel like I can dictate what I will and won't tolerate in a relationship. But the problem with that is you can, if you're dating a loser and you don't mind paying the bills. Then you can do what the fuck you want to do, and then you can tell him, I want a monogamous man, you gotta be with me and only me. And you call the shots. But the problem is women want a nigga who makes more money than them. Well, that's when they lose the leverage. You have the leverage when you're dating these losers and these regular ass men. For sure, women got, because here's the thing, a lot of men say, well, I'm the prize. No, you're not, nigga. Most of these things ain't no fucking prize. Let's be real here. Most men ain't a prize. A lot of the times the woman is the prize. Because you date beauty. And if she's beautiful, she's the prize. Because she can replace you in a heartbeat most of the time. Now, if you're a man who's exceptional, that's when you become the prize, right?
Okay.
If you're not a man with looks, money, your shit together, your mind right, you're a leader, you're masculine, then you're the prize. But guess what?
Okay,
you're the prize.
I'm gonna push back on that just a little bit. Not saying that.
Not saying
that.
I'm about to bring it around. Hold on, I'm gonna bring it around. So most men aren't the fucking prize. They think they are, but they're really not the prize. A lot of men just say this dumb shit they hear on the internet from RP content. But let's be real here. A lot of these niggas are fucking losers, right? And they're just lazy. So what I'm saying is for the men who aren't losers, who aren't lazy, who are trying to build themselves up, and who are maybe the prize, well, guess what? She now lose leverage. So all that money that she thinks she makes because she makes her own money, she's no longer like, I'll meet a girl because she makes $100K per year, I'm the prize. No, you're not, bitch. Because nigga you make over $100K per year, he got to be better than you in every regard. So guess what? He's the prize now because he can replace you far easier than you can replace him. Your money doesn't make you valuable as a woman. Your pussy you're still valued in your pussy and your looks. No matter how much money you got, you're still valued on that and how you behave as far as long term goes. So when it comes to a man, he is valued on his money, his income, his status, what he created. Very big difference. So now that you have this money as a woman, you think that you could dictate monogamy, and you can't. And if you don't believe me, look at Khloe Kardashian. She's a fucking billionaire, and she can't get Christian Thomas to keep his dick in his pants. You want to know why? Because this bitch has no fucking leverage. He doesn't mind dating a bitch who has no money. He doesn't mind. The girl he cheated with, I know from she's a bartender in New York. Bitch makes no fucking, she's a regular bitch. He treated her with a regular ass bitch. You know why? Because she was still pretty. Just as pretty as her. Men do not care about your fucking income. Women can't seem to fathom this because women think what I want in a man is what you want in a woman. They think attraction is symmetrical and it's asymmetrical. We don't want the same things in each other. But this delusion, this feminism propaganda bullshit has indoctrinated them to believe that what you want in a man, you gotta bring the same thing to the table that you want in a man. And that ain't the case. But go ahead, Julius. Yeah. Push back.
No. I was going to just slightly push back, and I was going to argue that I would say that the men really are the prize. But you laid it out because we have to work hard to obtain that. So it does make us. I would agree with you. Men today are fat. They're losers. They're not going to the gym. They're not taking care of themselves. They're not trying to get their money up. They sit at home and do nothing. But mind you, of course, those losers obviously are not the prize, but the men that put in the work and have to obtain that status. Because think about it, we all know this, right? 18 through 26-year-old who looks pretty can go on the yacht and be invited because she looks pretty because it helps sell the guy that, hey, this is what he gets. But the guy who has the yacht, it took him decades just to even get to that point. So it makes him the prize.
Correct. And that's what I'm saying. Like, women hit thing. Women are the prize with these regular ass men that they deal with, these losers that they deal with, these men with no jobs, unemployed niggas, these niggas who ain't got no ambition. Then you're the prize. And the problem women deal with so many of these losers that when they give it to men who has status, who has money, and they finally get this man, she still believes in her mind she's the fucking prize. She's no longer the prize. Which when the dynamic starts to shift, and she gets this reality check when he starts fucking a bunch of bitches on her. She's calling him toxic. Why you keep cheating on me? It's like, bitch, you chose this. You could have had a loser to yourself and you wanted a winner. Well, now that you have the benefits of having a winner, you got to deal with the cost of having a winner. And this is the cost. I'm going to fuck bitches. I'm going to have less time for you, etc. Women like to have the benefits of something. Women are taught to get a rich man, he's successful, get the best man you can get. but no one ever tells them there's a cost to this man. There's a realistic cost that he's gonna have other women. He's not gonna have as much time for you. All these things that they just don't realize. They think you're not gonna be the only woman when he has all this money. You're not gonna date a nigga who makes 7 figures, 8 figures, and expect him to act like expect the same things you expect from a regular nigga from him. It don't work that way. You expect a regular nigga to be monogamous with you. Well, when a nigga has money, monogamy's out the window. Whether he tells you the truth or he lies to you, it's out the window. You gotta go in knowing this. When I date a girl, right, and let's say I see that she's a OnlyFans model or some shit, I'm dating a girl, right? I know she's not wifey material. I wouldn't care if she go fuck somebody. She's an OnlyFans bitch. That's what they do. So I go into it knowing this. So if it happens, I won't feel offended. I won't feel no kind of way. I don't give a fuck, right? I mean, I'm probably not taking her serious anyway, but I'm just giving you an example. Whereas if women dating a man who has 7, 8 figures, in her mind, you got to know that you're dating a man who has money. What comes to money? Women. Since the dawn of time, every king, every emperor, every sultan, every chief, whenever they had money, they had fucking women. That's how it works.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, hey, real quick, we got a lot of people watching in Michelle's Discord. Michelle, thank you as always for throwing it down. And we got a question from, I think you might have met Rachel on the last live, Zeus. The question is, do you guys consider yourself the prize?
Okay, well, great. Before we answer that question, we're gonna answer that question. Zeus, I want to show you this video that I found on Instagram. We're all gonna talk about this. I want to get your take on this as well, and then we'll close it out with all that kind of good stuff. So
I'm not in no rush today.
Okay. Well, okay. So
let's let them answer the prize or what you want to play the video first.
No. So I'll say our show is usually 2 hours, so that's why we do 2 hours. You know what I mean? So we got like a good 10 minutes. We're gonna answer this question. I'm gonna show you a video, and then we'll close out with your last message and how folks can find you. So Nick, what's the question again?
Rachel asked, "Do you guys consider yourself the prize?"
I'll answer. If I'm to be honest, right now I'm not, because I'm not at a level to even be a prize. So I'll be honest with you. But me working right now, doing this podcast, building my Instagram, building my TikTok, going out to doing street interviews, that's me building my status. When I get to that level, I will be the prize. Because now I got status to my name. People know who I am. So right now, no.
Yeah, so here's the thing. For me, I'm not the prize, right? I am probably on paper, right? But in my mind, I'm not. I'm going to tell you why. Because I want to have 5 different women, right? So I know for me to be able to do that where women will accept it, I got to hit the 7-figure mark. Being in the 6-figure mark doesn't do it for me, right? So, and to me, that's just too common. I want to be in the 7-figure mark where it's like, now I know there is no dispute I'm the prize, right? Because I got the looks thing down pat. So I'm not worried about the looks thing. I got the looks thing down pat. My game is ridiculous. Everything else I got down pat. The only thing I'm working on is to get that 7-figure income. Once I hit that 7 figures, it's fucking over. Like, I'm gonna be the most asshole nigga you ever met in your life. I'm already an asshole. So I'm asking for some money. It's gonna be over, right? Like, I'm gonna be zero tolerant with female fuckery. Like right now, I don't have tolerance for female fuckery, but I may entertain a bitch too. But when I had that 7 figures, it is zero tolerance for female fuckery. What?
I can't wait to see Zeus at that point, bro. He's gonna be back on the podcast. Hey Zeus, so that brings to mind a quick question I want to ask off of that. Do you think that there's irresponsible ways to practice polygamy, or is it pretty much like, hey, if you can get them and they're coming around, like, do it?
So what's the question?
A lot of people out here say it's irresponsible to open a polygamous relationship if you can't, for instance, financially, support the women or something. Do you feel that there is some responsibility to be there, or is it like, hey, if I can get them to come around?
Here's the thing, it is a responsibility, right? It's like any company. You can't have 5 different employees, but you're not paying them, right? Women are not coming around for fucking free, right? Just because they're not going to be taking care of you, washing your clothes, fucking you, that comes at a cost, right? Even in the Muslim faith, you got to be able to take care of each wife equally. So a lot of men want to practice polygamy, but they're broke as shit. This is why a lot of men suffer from a retention problem. You may be able to get the girl, because let's say a lot of niggas who's broke got tight-ass game. The game is ill a lot of the times. So you may have great game, and you may get these girls to agree with it at first. The problem is you're going to have a retention problem. So now they may stick around for 2-3 months, but as time goes on, they're gonna get disrespectful with you. Gonna be pushed back. It's gonna be arguments all the time because you're broke. And if you're gonna be the head, because the point of polygamy is you're the head and they all serve you. It ain't gonna work that way if you ain't. Women are able to submit and respect two things about a man. If you have authority over them and value to them. A broke ass man ain't got no fucking value. So now if you have 4 women dealing with you and they all agree to polygamy, they're going to eventually see that you're a fucking loser. They're going to all start realizing you're a loser. And the problem is it takes one toxic individual in that circle to pollute the whole team, right? So if one of the girls say, this nigga's a fucking loser. Other girls say, you know what? That nigga is a loser. I agree, bitch. Now it's over. Now they all plotting to get the fuck about that situation because it ain't gonna work. See what I'm saying? So as a man, I tell men all the time, stop worrying about women and worry about building yourself as a man.
That was the final question I was leading to.
Worry about going to the gym. But like me, I'm not worried about right now. I'm not worried about polygamy right now. Like I told a girl today, I'm like, listen, but that's like later on in life when I get 7 figures. I'm not worried about right now. I'm worried about building my value up, creating my podcast, getting my shit running. I'm worried about getting my real estate shit, my Airbnb business going. I got my real estate shit going already. I'm worried about building myself up little by little. Going to the gym, getting more buff. The other shit to me is irrelevant. That fucking bitches will come. That's just a byproduct of your success, of you going to the gym, of you learning game, of you learning how to be a better man of yourself. That should never be your forefront. A lot of niggas who are practicing polygamy, I'm about to end it right now. Fucking a bunch of different bitches, wasting your time right now. Bro, focus on your money, focus on your bodybuilding, focus on your mind, focus on building your character. Then you deal with the bitches.
So just on that real quick.
The final question I was asking. I asked these for a reason. Sorry, Jules, I don't mean to interrupt. I was leading to so because this is like kind of your area. How do you tell men in similar situations as you, or even to Julius or me, how to approach dating these days?
It depends, right?
I'm good on that front.
I'm not saying you need to do
I know what you mean. I would say that it depends, but I would say, guys, you need to cast a fishing net in different kind of ponds, right? Because if let's say I have a fishing rod, but I catch a net in this pond, that pond, that pond, that pond, I'm bound to catch something. You want to be on dating apps, cold approaching. Definitely in DMs is one of the best ways to meet a girl nowadays is DMs. I ain't gonna hold you. DMs is one of the best ways. Because dating apps, it's an uphill. It's like being in a club to me. The club is an uphill battle. I don't even care for the club trying to beg bitches in the club. Because it's too taxing. It's a waste of money. You may not even get a bitch. It's not really worth it to me. Right? But I've done it, but it's not the best way to do it. I would never go to it's not the best way to do it for me. But it's another way to do it though. Right?
Another pawn.
It's another pawn, but I don't personally care for that pawn. But it's another pawn, right? But it's another pawn. And if you're good at the club thing, maybe it works for you. I don't really care for it. But and I like all the loud noise and shit. But the club, dating apps, DMs is one of the best ways if you build a social media following. Because women, like you said earlier about my followers, right? Women respect followers. Women will go to your page. The first thing you do when a bitch get your Instagram is go to your page, see how many people you following. See who follows you. See who's commenting your page. That's what they care about. So you gotta have a following, bro. And then you gotta show them a lifestyle that they can see themselves being a part of. A lot of guys will post a picture of them to themselves one time, or bro, she gotta see your lifestyle a lot of the times. If she can't see a life that she can be a part of, or see you, you in a good light, it's gonna be hard to beg them off Instagram. So build your Instagram up as much as possible and get your following up, right? That's one of the best ways. 10K plus is a good mark, I would say.
That's definitely a good goal. I'm not even there. Hey, our friend Michelle in the comments says, does Zeus have a car? If so, what kind? Asking for a friend.
I have a Range Rover 2021. A sport. White with red interior.
Sounds all right to me. I'm sure her friend would approve. Her friend. Julius, you had any questions? I didn't mean to interrupt you, bud.
No, I actually forgot my question, but
bigger nigga, you heard?
I'll play this video real quick because I just thought this was insane. Just like I'll play it for you. I'll just like this is
my car is also on my Instagram, you guys. Go to my first pictures on my Instagram.
Yeah, we'll do, absolutely. All right, that's real quick for everybody. For your plug, that's Zeus X Unplugged.
Yep, that's my Instagram, Zeus X Unplugged.
Yeah, matter of fact,
my Instagram, my YouTube is Zeus X Podcast.
Yeah, I actually have your link to the Instagram down below, so you can go follow him. So real quick, so this is the video of this woman she's obviously a single mother, and she posted this caption in her video, and this is how she presents herself to all the simps out there. Like, just think about that. Like, how
up, man?
Like, yeah, so okay. I don't want to sound like oh my god, but it's like here's a female presenting herself.
Look at the kid's face right now, man. Look at the kid. Look at right at the kid.
Like her son is like right in the camera, watching his mom do this, talking about would you be a
you right there? You're seeing the look of trauma being induced in a kid right there. He's learning this shit. He's watching his mom do this shit. What's that do to a kid?
I mean, listen. single moms in general are typically recreational use only, typically, right? Now, just every single one, maybe? No, but here's the problem with single moms. Single moms guarantee one thing. She has a proclivity of making bad choices in life. I mean, she has a proclivity of breaking serious commitment and making bad choices in life. What I mean by that is she made a series of bad choices that led to her having a kid out of wedlock, right? She got with the wrong man. Then she made a bad choice of not being on birth control. Then she made a bad choice of fucking the wrong man without a condom. Then she made a bad choice of allowing that wrong man to nut in her without a condom. Then she made another bad choice of allowing herself to get pregnant by that man and not getting an abortion. Then she made another bad choice of having a kid, then leaving said man. Let's not forget the bad choice she made of not getting a plan B, right? So all these series of bad choices, and a lot of women repeat these same choices all over with another nigga, and another nigga, and another nigga. So what I'm saying is, on top of that, they keep leaving these men. So it tells you she's not able to make serious commitment and stick to it, and she doesn't hold herself accountable. You chose to stay, fuck this man and live with this man while you're leaving him. If he was worthy for your womb, why is he not worthy for you to be with for the rest of your life?
Interesting.
Why did you give him your womb without a ring? You gotta hold yourself accountable as a woman, right? And then but the problem is, too many dumbass fucking men will accept her with her bad choices because a lot of men started putting the work in, building their value where they have options, will settle for that bitch just so they can be a loser and continue being a fucking loser. So she knows at the end of the day, this is the reason why so many single moms, single motherhood is growing so big. Because back in the day, they didn't have single mother back in the days. You know why? It was shameful back in the days. The town people would shame you, your family would shame you, society would shame you. Whereas now, it's not shamed. You're told as a man, you're a strong man if you take care of another nigga's kids. That's what you're told today from a little boy's age. A strong man will take care of another man's kids that another nigga didn't even want. So now you have a bunch of dickhead men who run around wanting to do this just for some pussy. Because instead of building their value up to where they can dictate what they want and what they do and don't want to do. I don't see why any man would rather take care of another man's kids when they have a child of their own. It makes zero fucking sense.
In nature, that never happens, by the way. In the animal kingdom, like a lion coming in and taking over a new tribe will kill off all the male cubs and impregnate the female. Like no bastard quote like cub is being taken care of in nature.
And it could work. It could work. It could work.
I'm not hating on it either. I'm just saying nature doesn't do it. It doesn't happen in nature.
Again, like I'm saying, like even nature doesn't do it. And my whole thing is, as a man, once you build your value up, why would you choose to deal with that, right? Just like a woman, when a woman's at her peak value, she ain't choosing to deal with no fucking losers. She's picking the best and the brightest. The nigga who got her pregnant was the best nigga she can get. And that's why she fucking got him pregnant. Now she's gonna settle for any nigga she can get because now she got a kid. She probably post-war. All the bullshit. What I'm telling guys is work on yourself so you ain't gotta deal with female fuckery. You ain't gotta deal with shit you don't want to deal with. You ain't gotta settle because bitches, you hit bitches all the time. I will die before I settle. Why? Because they're at their peak value saying that dumb shit. You don't see that, whereas when they're 24, 18 years old, they'll die before they settle at their peak value. So why would you as a man be at your peak value not saying the same shit? Women nowadays will wait till you get to your peak value and want you, because here's the problem with women with kids. They want the same shit that a woman without kids want. A protector, a provider, a leader, a masculine man who's confident, all the same shit. So why the fuck would you choose to deal with a woman who has kids? Yeah. It makes no sense.
I hear you, man. Man, that's a hell of a, yeah, Julius, you have any other ways you want to end this? Or
yeah, no, I was going to say, so on that note, what would be your message to men today, and what will be your message to men today, and how is your platform going to be that change going forward? Like, what is your future plan for the platform going forward?
All right, so my message first in general will be for men today is just to work on building yourself, man, as early as possible. And for the young men, it's best to start early, man. Like, start early building yourself up, understanding female nature. Start listening to these male-centric podcasts, right? So you can learn. And because not everybody's 100%, right? But take what you can take, bits and pieces of it, put it together, make it a whole, and treat it to your lifestyle, see what works for you, right? Because a lot of these podcasts will teach you about how to learn game and all that shit. To be honest with you, a lot of the game shit you learn, it got to be attributed to you. You got to see what works for you because everybody's different. Every guy has different swag, different style, different way they convey themselves. Not everything works for everybody. But once you figure out your own process, work on building your value, man. Go to the gym, make your money. Stop being, even if you're fat, you can still get business if you're fat, but build your value up, right? Build your status up. The fatter you are, the more status, the more money you got to have, right? The uglier you are, the more status, the more money you got to have, right? And the more game you got to have. You want to build your game, your money, your body. If you want to build your whole frame to where women see herself being a part of your lifestyle. But you
Well-
can't do that chasing pussy all day, right? Bitches got to be a excess part of your life. They got to be a part of your life that's just extra. They're a byproduct of what you're building for yourself. But
So
always
Zeus-
share your mission and your purpose. Never deviate from your mission and your purpose for any bitch, right? Don't let your ugly ass girlfriend hold you back from greatness, man.
So how do men balance that then? Because you know, you want to be on your purpose and whatnot, and not let the women take you off of it, but you want to be in as many pawns as you can. You get what I'm asking? Like, how does that balance?
I'm gonna tell you how to balance. You prioritize you. If you're prioritizing you, you're able to, and it's part of being a man, right? Know how to manage, right? Because it's not hard, right? If you're prioritizing your mission, your purpose, nothing comes before your work. So if you got to be work today, go to work. Don't call out for no stupid ass bimbo, right? Don't call out work for no dumb ass bitch. Don't stop making money today because some bitch tell you she's gonna see you today. Your money comes first. When you're done with everything you got to do, then you go see that bitch. Then you plan a date. Then you plan a link up, her come to your crib. But it got to be on your terms at your time, right? And this also puts you in a better light because what it tells her is you're a man of value. You don't have as much time for her. A man who has so much time for her that's willing to call out of work just tells her that you're a man who's willing to bend for her. And a man who's willing to bend is a man who's willing to fold. And that's already a problem in itself, right? So set your life to where you put yourself first. Women can't never be number one in your life. I don't care if she's a wife. She can never be number one. What you got to prioritize is things that make you attractive in the first place. Because unlike you, she'll leave your ass the moment you start falling off your square. Versus you won't leave her. She starts being lazy, being less ambitious, not making money, stays home all day. You won't leave her. But she'll leave you for the exact same reasons. A girl will tell you, just stay home, baby. Just stay home, baby. By the time you get fired, she's already looking for another replacement. And for some girls, it's 2 months. For other girls, it's 2 years. But at a certain point, she's going to start replacing your ass.
I would argue even throughout those months a year, they're always planning for that contingency.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm telling guys to just work on yourself, man. That's the best thing you can do.
So my last question, and then we'll close out. Should couples go along with Valentine's Day?
Oh, great question, Julius.
Say again? Should couples what?
Should couples go along with Valentine's Day?
She's not going along. Like, you mean
buy into it? Like, should they embrace it or should they?
Yeah, like people kind of into it, but it's just
me personally, right? All right, so I'll say about me personally first. Me personally, I don't celebrate that shit unless I have a girlfriend, right? Or girlfriends in that case, right? Right. If I have main girls, right? Girlfriends are main girls, right? I don't celebrate if I have main girls. But, or a girl really earned it. But I will say this. Like the first year I'm dealing with a girl, she ain't getting shit from Valentine's Day. I tell the girl up front. There is no Valentine's Day gifts. There's no Valentine's Day dates. I tell her up front, I'm not giving you any dates on any holidays. No Valentine's Day gifts. None of that shit up front. That way, no confusion. Don't buy me shit because I ain't buying you shit. Up front, right? So, plus, I don't expect shit anyway, so it's even easier for me. But don't buy shit anyway, right? So that's easy for me up front. That way, there's no expectations. I set it up front. That way, there's no confusion. But on top of that, I would tell a couple, it works if you're a couple. It could work for you. There's nothing wrong with it, right? But, you know, it's a holiday for women most of the time anyway. Not really for men, because women care about that shit more than guys do. A man won't die if he doesn't get a gift, but a woman will. So, you know, if you're going to have a girlfriend, you're going to do it no matter what anyway, to some degree. It's unavoidable, right? So I would tell a guy to embrace it as much. She's already embraced it. There's no couple. She's already embraced it. As a guy, you're going to have to learn to embrace it yourself. It's unavoidable. I mean, unless you have a woman who's willing to understand that you don't want to celebrate that dumbass holiday. But for the most part, it's kind of unavoidable to some degree, right? So you're going to expect something. And, you know, it is what it is, right? You got to compromise in some degree in a relationship anyway, so, you know.
That's a very measured answer, I would say, actually. That's very measured.
Well, on that note, Zeus, we appreciate you coming on, man.
I appreciate you guys, man. I love you guys, man.
This was really great. We appreciate you, man. Yeah, we definitely appreciate you. Let the folks know where they can find you at.
Find me on Instagram at ZeusXUnplugged. Find me on YouTube at ZeusX Podcast. I'm going to be posting soon. I'm getting my studio together. I'm trying to put together great content for you guys, so I'm getting my studio together. Also find me on Twitter at ZeusXUnplugged as well. TikTok, the same thing. Shoot me a follow, shoot me a DM, you guys. If you're looking for coaching, send me an email at ZeusXUnplugged@gmail.com. Again, ZeusXUnplugged@gmail.com. If you want to donate to Cash App at $ZeusXUnplugged. Appreciate you guys. Keep subscribe to this channel. Show these guys some love. They're awesome. Peace.
This is the
Appreciate you guys.
homie, folks. This is the homie. It's been too long. This is a great
That's a
reuniting.
fact.
This is a fantastic interview, man. Listen, we appreciate you guys for watching. If you guys liked this video and you enjoyed what you saw, do hit that like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Follow us on all social media platforms for both of our guests, for Layla and Zeus. Their link is down below if you want to follow them, and do follow them. Please check out their content. They got great stuff. We appreciate you guys. God bless you guys. God bless your family. God bless America. God bless the world. We will catch you guys next week. See ya.
Dude, what a show, bro.